Alright. So Jaal wants to talk. Speak to Jaal on the Tempest. Of course, last time we heard about Aksul and the Rokar, it was pretty urgent that we go over and basically save Eos from a Rokar attack that we don't know definitively, but I suspected that if we didn't do that immediately, then there might have been some consequences there of the negative variety. So what I'm wondering is if that's going to happen here.
You more than anyone know how dangerous Aksul is.
Why were they allowed to speak with him?
They aren't children anymore. We can't control their every move. You remember how you were. Please, Jaal.
I'll bring them home.
And this is the part where Jaal goes, yes, Aksul was my buddy in school, but he's also my brother.
Are you okay?
3 of my brothers and sisters have joined the Rokar. Aksul has poisoned them with his hatred of aliens.
And your mothers want you to bring them back.
The Rokar have made camp at the Forge. Many consider it the birthplace of our civilization.
On Havarl, I assume?
Aksul likely believes this bold move will create more fanatics for his cause. Ryder, he has my family. But I don't think I can do this alone.
But I'm an alien now. We'll help.
You don't have to. Just tell me the time and place.
No hesitation. You are a good friend. I have a contact who's been monitoring the Rokar. I'll set up a rendezvous with her.
Okay, now I assume, kind of like we were just talking about with Cora, that there were a few more minor missions that were building up until we eventually had her actual official loyalty mission. That may be the case here with Jaal as well, where technically he has had his name on those missions, but it did not say loyalty mission, but that might have just changed. Let's see. There it is, loyalty mission. After a failed attack on Podromos, the situation with Rokar and their leader Aksul has escalated as we suspected it would have. Jaal worries about future relations between his people and the Milky Way species as more Angara join this xenophobic cause. Meet Jaal's resistance contact on Havarl, and sure, we're just meeting up with someone initially, but of course, you have to imagine that that situation comes to a head, and that, I mean, somewhat similar to what we just saw again with Cora, where, yes, it's a loyalty mission, it is a loyalty mission, but it also has a very significant purpose outside of the loyalty mission, in that it is also, in that case, it was about an arc for one of the major species expected to make a presence on the Nexus and in the galaxy, whereas in this case, the Rokar have been a thorn in our side from almost the very beginning, so it wasn't necessarily clear at the onset that that was going to reach a conclusion through working with Jaal, although I guess you could make a case that was likely to happen, since obviously he's our only Angaran squad mate and our closest Angaran ally. But now those two things overlap. So, I mean, is this time sensitive? I guess we were saying that we were going to do a combination of arc-related stuff and loyalty mission-related stuff. I mean, is there anything left for arcs, actually? Oh, this was for PB. So as we were saying a little while ago, I mean, we were on Eos and we did almost every single thing on Eos. We left like the main quest place where we expect to be going very soon, and pretty much just one other thing. And it looks like that one other thing was actually very significant. Perhaps the thing that will move PB's mission into an actual official loyalty mission. So okay, there's that. What is the current state of this? Investigate Spender's Kadara connection. Okay. Vetra's is totally ready to go. So I think I was previously under the impression that when it came to loyalty missions, we were probably going to do Korra's next, because although we got it a little more recently, it had that tie to the arcs. Then I was assuming we were going to go for Vetra, because that's one of the ones that we got first. So if we're putting people in line based on when their loyalty missions showed up, then Vetra is technically at the front of said line, ahead of Jaal. And I guess, in this theoretical line, do our squad mates only take their spot in the queue once they officially have a loyalty mission that is an actual full-fledged loyalty mission? So that means that both Drac and PB are not yet at that point? I don't know. It's a theory, okay? It's a metaphorical construct. Also, this is on H47C, which I despise with all of my being. So, not totally thrilled about going back here, but we will have to eventually. So, let's see. Sid believes some colonists have been kidnapped. Or you could take a different angle and say, well, whichever squad mates you actually expect to be using more regularly, you should prioritize because it unlocks their rank 6 abilities. So if we're a bigger fan of using Vetra than we are of using Jaal, which is probably a true statement, then perhaps we do go for Vetra first and then Jaal, maybe after that? Something like that. Something like that. Okay, also, for what it's worth, I believe we do have another level worth of weapons research that we can unlock. Which I think, at least for the weapons, since we have so much Milky Way research, we can just pretty much do any and all of this stuff. Not worry about it too much. Level 60 is when the next round becomes available. We're 6 levels away from that, which I think gonna take a little while in that case. So, we crafted for the previous level when we were doing some weapons, although I think our weapons, we got very experimental, and in several cases it arguably backfired on us. We probably should have just gone for something a little more straightforward, and that might have proved a little bit better for us, but the bigger, or the more likely thing that we would look to craft in the more immediate future would be if we wanted to do... What was this? Sniper rifle that we were actually... Oh, Black Widow. Fair enough. It's like, why are we upgrading a sniper rifle? That's silly. It's also a good reminder for us to actually equip our better Asari sword. Can we do that directly here when we're on the Tempest? We couldn't do it when we were on the ground. No? That just feels kind of silly. Like, I get it, we're not at one of these things, loadout station, but still. There. Marginal improvement. But yeah, if there is anything that we want to craft, I think it would be a biotically oriented set of armor. Which, if we could do what I was just saying and switch our gear in the middle of a mission, so that if we were starting off with tech-oriented stuff and then for whatever reason decided that it would be more fitting for us to go the biotic route, we can both switch our favorites to go to a biotic setup and also swap our gear to support that, because basically we're in a place where, because we have gear that is optimized for tech armor, for tech damage, there's basically no world in which we would prefer to be using biotic skills if we're just talking about purely optimizing from a gameplay standpoint, because our tech stuff has inherent, like, probably close to 50% damage buff from our base stats on our gear, and then also all the augmentations and modifications we added as well. So it's not exactly a fair comparison right now.
We're in parking orbit. Scan complete.
Okay, I don't think we got the chance to do this before. Arc Lucinia. Stasis pod counts projected 20,000, currently detecting 12,000. I want to say that's about the same number that we saw for the Turians as well. multiple hull breaches, power levels sub-operational. Named after a mythical Asari kingdom of wealth and learning, Ark Lucinia is built along similar specifications to Ark Hyperion. Sensors currently show heavy damage to many decks, minimal power, and few life signs. But overall, a success. Okay. So, I think we probably go and do Vetra's loyalty mission here. Out of curiosity, where is the, That's where Jaal'S is. On Havar. Okay, yeah, that's where I suspected it would be. And there was the other mission, the one that's for technically, the lady on the Nexus, whose face is tired, whose name currently escapes me, who everyone hates. And now, because I'm actively trying to think of it, I'm never going to remember it. Where it was trying to take us to a specific system, and it just named the system rather than the planet, and so I wasn't sure which one that was referring to. So it'd be kind of nice to just quickly poke our head over there. But, we'll head over here first. I don't think it was this one. Maybe it was this one. Maybe I'm wrong. Hopefully I am wrong, and it's right here. But I doubt it. Okay. Nothing to scan. Alright, this is where Archnatanis was, which was the Turian one. Yeah. Okay. So this quest involves Cid. Obviously we will need to take Vetra with us. Outside of that, I mean, I think much like we saw with, and now we have a better sense since we've done 2 loyalty missions at this point. I mean, there is still a chance that there's an outlier here, and that one of them does play out a little bit differently than the others, and so maybe it won't all be missions that have a combination of combat and some conversations, what have you. Maybe there will be some that are purely dialogue-oriented, but I doubt that's the case here. Okay, so let's head over. Let's now, I think we get one more opportunity to see this page with all of our selections before we actually hop into the component where we're initiating the actual loyalty mission, because right now we're just going to drop into a random spot on the asteroid / former planet. Let's dump Cora, because she is at times a liability, and obviously we will need to take Vetra. It's more so a question of who is squad mate number 2. Is it PB? Obviously we just used her. Drac is generally our other more reliable squad mate, but Vetra is what, basically it's these 3. So by having Vetra, is that enough for us to feel okay? Or do we need to also take either PB or Drac along with her? Is there any reason why someone would, for plot reasons, make the most sense? Obviously it's going to be mostly Vetra who's going to be relevant here, but it's her sister, they're both Turians, they sort of are involved in crime a little bit. I don't know if there's anyone in particular that makes sense to add. I mean, it made sense before for PB, since it was when we were doing Cora's mission, because obviously we needed Cora, but it was the Asari arc, whereas that just doesn't really have that same secondary aspect to be prioritizing around here as well, so sure, we'll just take Drac.
Bringing us in.
Right, there's radiation. Okay. There's a mining zone that we've not seen over there. There's... Huh? At least first, oh, these were the spots where they had the indoor base mining areas. Okay. Okay. We've done some mining there. So we've done a fair bit of exploration. We technically have not gone here. I think this might actually be our last trip to H47C, or whatever the combinations of letters and numbers are to represent this location we currently find ourselves on. Because we did a fair bit before. This is generally a smaller and more barren area, so there's definitely not as much to do here. Did we go up to that one? Maybe we did. But there's this area here that we haven't explored. There might be a section over here. I mean, there's something appearing on the map. Is it an invisible wall blocking us? Possibly. Then there's stuff a little more to the east, and this pathway over here. Now, are we gonna get all the resources at all the mining spots? No, I don't really think that's gonna be a huge deal. And obviously there's stuff over here further west relative to the loyalty mission. So yeah, I think this is in many ways an area that I'd rather just not have to go back to. So as I said before, had some not so great experiences here previously. What direction is it? It's east. Let's just check it out to see if there is anything else to the east besides our ship. So technically we do have a bit of a timer with our life support, but I don't think that's going to be a major issue.
Pathfinder, this area can be mined for resources.
Don't remember what rarity magnesium
via
is.
your mining interface.
I assume it's not that good. Usually the ones to the left are not as good. Also, it's kind of hard to tell where we technically drop off to the end of the world. Silicon is definitely lower. Okay, that's an invisible wall. Lower rarity. Well, that is a lot of it. Like, that is a ridiculous amount of it. Sure. But if you want to hand me some platinum, that I would take. On the other hand, maybe we just keep it simple. Right, there may still be a tiny bit more up here. There was that forward station. Are there none of the supply drop hidden cache things here? I don't think we were on here. Or I don't think we had unlocked that ability yet when we were on here last, so in theory, they would all be available right now if they existed, which perhaps they just don't. Is this a thing? It looked like it was a thing. Maybe it's not a thing. That's an invisible wall. Does it go all the way around? Like here as well? Because I'm wondering if this area is accessible or not, or if that invisible wall is just showing up here. Is there a northern section? Yay or nay? This looks like a lot of nothingness over here. But you are letting me go. I guess we're technically not yet in that what would seem to... Okay, now. And we'll confirm, but yeah, that's the confirmation I'm looking for. There is, in fact, a wall that blocks us. Okay. So we can say definitively, can't go up there. So at this point, I think we can fast travel over to some other spots. That's so good. I mean, again, I don't really think we need to optimize for all the mining zones, especially if we, in general, feel like we have so many resources that we're never going to need to get everything. But let's maybe go here, fast travel to this spot. We'll see if there's anything over in this corner. I kind of doubt it. Maybe there's just one other pathway to cross over to this segment, and then, you know, in and around the area where Vetra's mission is, we might be able to do a little more exploration. Do we want to fast travel over here as well? Yeah, you know, we'll just fast travel around a little bit. Yeah, that's pretty quick, what we were just doing. Just check the corners, basically. Also, it does restore our life support, so it is south and mostly west. Ooh. South. And mostly west. That we're... The Nomad is faced in the opposite direction that I thought it was faced.
Despite everything that went wrong here, that's quite a view.
So this is the path. Theoretically. So is there anything on this path? Or is it still just largely insignificant? And eventually just looping around to the same place we were looking to go to eventually lead over to Vetra's mission? Yeah, basically. Just an alternate route. Okay, in which case we really don't even need to drive this. I mean, granted, the loading screen, I'm not really sure this is gonna be any faster, but we'll try. And may not go straight into Vetra's mission just yet.
You can extract minerals via your mining interface.
Even though it's close, just because I think we finish on that, you know? I think I'm not sure how close we can get without triggering it if we start going in this direction, but we could try. And then head over here to this one and just check the western side, northwesternmost side. Theoretically, there's some stuff here as well, or there is ground there as to whether anything actually exists. That's a different question. But yeah, I mean, this, like I said, after having been here for the first time, this, to me, really feels like a place where BioWare was planning to make a full-blown planet for people to explore and have missions on and what have you. And then for budget reasons and time constraint reasons, they had to significantly scale back. Which obviously has some parallels to what the plans in the actual game were for the Turians to settle this place. So maybe some poetry there. Okay, we can go down even more southwest where there's theoretically something. Okay. I mean, I had to. Skirt. I mean, not that we had to that time, but more just because I was curious. I mean, I really want to launch ourselves off this thing. But also, do you have minerals that are more valuable than those ones? Because I don't really care about those ones. Titanium is at least uncommon? Question. Oh my god, that is quite literally breaking the meter. Is this a linear scale? Or is this exponential? Because in Mass Effect 2, at least, the scanners like this, the scale is exponential. 200 silicon, that has to be the maximum. And titanium is rare. So that's not bad. I mean, again, does this really matter in the grand scheme of things? No, probably not that much. That is also an invisible wall. It's not as if we're going to be going much further here. Although... And that's lower silicon, although... Not... are we gonna fall off the edge of the map? Okay, sure. Not quite maximum silicon in that case, but I also thought that we were gonna accidentally roll off the edge of the map and die. So I will take living as an alternative. To optimizing. Because there's some titanium force. Okay. Whoa. Whoa. Alright. Magnesium as well. I mean, again, like, doesn't really matter that much, but sure, we'll do it. Now this area is depleted.
Resources in this area are limited.
Surprised that there was that much to begin with. Okay, so, I mean, yeah, we could do something similar over there, but let's just fast travel here. I mean, it seems like because we can't go out of our vehicle here, that it's mostly just either you have one of those mining stations where you actually can
Pathfinder,
get out of
this
your
area
vehicle.
Can be mined for resources. You can extract minerals via your mining interface.
But outside of those locations, it is all basically just mining zones and not much else. So that's pretty much the only thing you can do from the Nomad. That's also a common resource, right? I mean, obviously this crater is going to be the place to be. Obviously this crater is going to be the place to be, at least from a silicon standpoint. Want to give me any titanium or platinum, though? Want to think twice about giving me some titanium or platinum instead? So those ones actually might matter, whereas the silicon probably realistically does not. Even if you give me an astronomical quantity. Ah, I should have looked in the second part of the crater. Duh. Obviously. You know, there's another mining rich. Technically, we can go further west. Guess we'll check, but I mean, I think it's pretty clear at this point that just about the only thing that this planet has to offer is mining zones, and maybe the occasional Stonehenge-like structure, which for a split second, this started to look like, but not really anymore. Oh, okay, maybe not the best time to go boosting in to the astral world. That is one of the spots that we can exit the Nomad. I mean, I guess we just go straight east pretty much from here, or at least slightly south, down to this path. And I'm assuming that this section, much like when we tried to approach from this side, is going to be inaccessible, despite it kind of looking like you might be able to go there. So we'll just, basically, we're being relatively thorough, trying to be sure. Trying to be sure that there isn't anything else worth pursuing here. But I mean, the airtime is pretty sweet, though. That'd be kind of interesting just to check the map to see how much did, like, that might have been a jump from here to here, which is pretty sweet. Cool. Cool. Found the path. Oh, I did want this one. I'm assuming this is eventually just going to loop back around. And not really be all that useful for us, but we're going to check. Also, it's technically a part a little bit north of here that we haven't explored, but I'm not exactly holding out hope that's going to have anything new, as this already looks like it's pretty insignificant, what we're doing here. That? Oh, I was going to say, expecting to see a bridge at some point, and I did not see one. Oh, that is a bridge.
Don't look down, guys.
Zoom. Okay. So there's the loop. So yeah, at this point, I think we can say with pretty good confidence that we have... I mean, technically, this is the one section of the path that we have not explored, but, I mean... I think we can say with pretty good confidence that there's not going to be something amazing here that's hidden in this one tiny area that we've not explored yet. So I think we can head over and just initiate the mission now and not have to worry about hopefully ever coming back to this planet, because it's not exactly overflowing with interesting stuff for us to do here. But good to check it off at the very least.
You can extract minerals via your mining interface.
Okay, so... south and a little bit west. basically just follow this path. Also, yes, I will just nab a quick dose of titanium. I am titanium. And now this is just good. Probably this? Yeah, okay. This spot. Is there a specific angle from which we are meant to approach? I thought there was a path here somewhere. There it is. Okay. Whoa.
According to Sid's intel, that's where those settlers are being held. We should check it out.
Okay, so let's double check. Sid believes some colonists have been kidnapped and taken to an abandoned mine on H47C. Find the abandoned mine. So it's maybe the structure of the place is going to be pretty similar to the ones that we were at before, and most of them were just one relatively large enclosed dome area, although there was one exception to that where there were actually multiple domes that were interconnected, so that might end up being the case here. Find the abandoned mine. Okay, let's do it. Also, there are geysers here. I am tempted to see what happens if we go into one of those geysers, but maybe we'll resist the urge at the moment. Okay, so we're gonna get thrown straight into the action now, right? And we should now allocate those skills that we delayed allocating, especially because Vetra has 62 points that we can spend here, including some that can actually be meaningfully spent. I swear we did this before. Okay, let's see. So, turbocharge. Gun damage bonus, gun force bonus versus gun accuracy, stability, penetration. We totally talked about this. We definitely did this and then just accidentally canceled rather than confirmed the skills. It's basically that this is consistent. This is every once in a while that penetration is going to be useful to hit through cover and or to deal damage for, I don't remember if usually penetration also comes with additional effectiveness against enemies that have armor. But I don't remember if that's just because those are two separate descriptions that usually go hand in hand, or if just the phrasing penetration damage alone applies both to shooting through cover and also to hitting enemies that have armor. Because, you know, I'm not really sure how regularly Vetra is going to be making a point of shooting enemies that are in cover and on an angle such that the penetration damage is actually relevant, whereas this is just simple, straightforward, and going to be taking effect pretty much all the time. So as is usually the case for squad-mate abilities, I think we have to go for the simple, straightforward option because it is an AI, not us, who's controlling it. This is her passive, so we can go power damage and force, or weapon damage. Weapon damage, same idea. Consistency there is key.
We shall see what
Silent, how's it going? How are you? Thanks for the raid. How was your stream? We are doing some Andromeda, which I've never played before. So we are doing this blind, first time playthrough. So I do not know what to expect. But we are about to head in, and I mean like we quite literally just stepped in to initiate Vetra's loyalty mission. So things may be about to get interesting. Things may be about to get interesting here. We do have a lot of skill points left to spend for Vetra, so just doing that before we head in to make ourselves a little more prepared. Vetra takes less damage when not in cover versus when in cover. So I think, and again, we definitely did all of these previously and I just accidentally canceled rather than confirmed. We definitely did out of cover, just because, I mean, theoretically, yes, I should be making a point of trying to micromanage squad mates and keep them in cover when possible, but in truth, I am never doing that. So I think we just go that route and prioritize optimizing for the non-micromanaged Vetra. Let's see. Then concussive shot, we've not spent any points on this, but we should have enough points to invest entirely, I believe. So, damage, decent force, recharge time, humongous, so let's reduce it. Where do we actually have to start making decisions? Damage, force versus combat detonator, and giving it a 2-meter radius. Combat detonator damage bonus. I feel like, well, I mean, we are flaming as our primary source of damage, which does prime. So in that way, you know, we're trying to basically be both priming and detonating with just us and not relying on our squad mates at all for that. And for the most part, we can do that with pretty darn good consistency if I'm at least managing the cooldowns well, which I feel like we've done a decent job of. Yes, Vetra could help, but I'm just not sure that's really going to make that much of a difference if we are diligent with our timing on our skills. So I think you just take that straightforward damage there, which normally would be the thing we do anyway. Then let's see. Affected enemies take extra damage from all sources. 20% extra damage for 5 seconds. That's very enticing. Versus take additional damage over time for a short time. Do we have an AoE? Does it? Did it only have an... I guess that was actually the best case to be made for going this direction then. Just getting the 2-meter radius, which, you know, you do that, then it's easier to debuff multiple enemies. Like, is Vetra going to be smart enough to deliberately debuff the preferred ideal target? Probably not, but I still think that's probably the best option for us. Probably worth taking our chances on that. Okay, and we can't do level 6 yet on any of her abilities because we've not done her loyalty mission yet, but we're about to do that, so hopefully that changes soon. And again, don't know what to expect. What did I just do exactly the thing that I was saying I did before? And by that I mean canceling out rather... No, we're good, we're good. Okay, I really thought that I just canceled out all those things that we just did. For us, we do have a little bit. And at this point, we did have our plans for additional build get spoiled a little bit, as it turned out that the combos that we were looking for did not actually work as we had hoped they would. So that kind of means that I don't have a great sense what direction we want to go into next, unless we just say, all right, forget about trying that or anything like that combo that we were hoping to do, that build, and just fully embrace throwing additional points into tech, not so much for actually using those skills actively, but more so just to buff up the various tech passive things, because this is where we're getting most of our damage, so getting passive just to get a little bit stronger there is not a terrible thing. Once upon a time we said maybe overload would become our detonator rather than energy drain, which just never really ended up happening because we stuck with energy drain, but I guess we could do this. Let's see. What is the cooldown by default? 15 seconds? That's wow. That's bad. I don't know why my initial response, that's dangerous. I mean, yes, I guess it can be if you're having to wait that long for it to come back, but that's painful. So getting recharge speed versus getting 25% all damage. I mean, so this is basically here to be a more of an offensive option relative to energy drain to detonate Flamer. Recharge speed to help make those combos happen more quickly is not a terrible idea. But damn it, what is the base damage here? Initial damage 150, initial damage charge 200, chain damage 100. We do have a lot of recharge speed coming from our gear. I guess we'll do damage. Oh, we don't have the points for it anyway. Alright, never mind. Doesn't matter yet. Okay, I definitely did confirm that. Alright. Should be good on Drac. He has everything maxed out to the extent that we can max it out. Alright, so what do we expect here from this mission? I have no idea. Again, don't know to what extent is it possible to even fail loyalty missions to the extent that you can go without winning squad mates loyalty? Maybe.
Do not detect life in our immediate vicinity.
Do not detect life.
Let's head in, but stay sharp. My sister may have missed something in her investigations.
So that is probably concern numero uno, is there anything that would royally mess this thing up to the extent to which we basically, even if the mission is done, quote-unquote complete, do we fail from the standpoint of not actually winning Vetra's loyalty? So that would be bad. Just checking the exterior here, although it looks quite empty compared to the other ones. Other sections like this in this area had absolutely been littered with minerals, but alright. Not so this time. I guess technically we hadn't embarked on the mission yet, but now we have. Okay, we should have set ourselves up here, though, with pretty much everything that we wanted. Don't think anything changes, setup-wise. Let's do it. Did the game just crash? No, okay. It's like that went very silent for a second there.
Looks like no one's home.
I swear if Sid sent us on a pointless search, I'm
That's
going
gonna
to
change
drill
very
her
quickly.
shin plates.
Oh, that's a trip mine.
Move! Go!
Slash booby trap. Biotics! Oh. That's quite a flop.
What the hell was that?
Did I land on you? Sorry.
She says that to Drac. Reaction? It's closing behind us.
Ah, Nix. So good to finally meet you. And you brought friends.
Merryweather?
That's even the
Nix?
Pathfinder, if I'm not mistaken.
Alright, Nix is her
My
last
fate
name.
worked
True.
better than expected.
The missing settlers.
Who are you? Why are you kidnapping innocents?
Innocents? They're criminals. You helped them get away from me. You think I'm gonna let that go? Get comfortable. You'll be here a while.
They're criminals. You think I'm gonna let them get away with committing crimes? No, of course not. So I'm gonna kidnap them and hold them hostage. Duh. Alright. That makes sense. I assume she is mistaken. Are these quote-unquote innocents really not so innocent? After all, or Vetra, might you need to fess up a little bit here?
I need to know what you've been doing.
Okay, that's
and
a little
who you've
aggressive, though.
pissed off.
I don't know who that was or what she was talking about. I know better than to...
It's okay, Vetra. You
Galloway?
don't have to cover for us.
Oh? Oh!
That was Merryweather. She runs a smuggling ring on Gadara. We
Okay.
worked for her. Vetra helped us get out of it. New lives, hiding in the outposts.
Okay, I guess that does sound kind of good, Vetra. Also, we should probably try to make an effort to be generally as nice as we can be to Vetra, because this is her loyalty mission. Again, if there is any chance of us not winning her loyalty, then that would be a pretty bad thing. So let's play nice. Outlaws on my app. So like, you know, maybe not say that.
So you're helping people. There was no need for all that modesty.
It's not modesty. I didn't help anyone.
Okay. You didn't help anyone.
I'm getting out of here.
We've tried. There's no way out.
There's always a way out.
But yeah, also it'd probably be nice if we took some biotics with us and just go, oh yeah, no, we'll
Ryder,
just
you
biotically
have to
lift ourselves out of
believe
here.
me. I have no idea what's going on. I'm going to get answers, but first we have to get out of here.
Okay, well, let's acquaint ourselves with our new surroundings, I suppose. So it might be a little while. Alright, so Galloway seems to be some kind of leader amongst these peoples.
Vetra seems really agitated. It's making me doubt what really happened. I hope this all gets sorted out soon.
Okay, so can you give us more information? Definitely. Where should we start? About the person behind all this, I guess, maybe?
Tell me more about Merryweather.
She used to be some kind of military surveyor. Now, she's a gang leader and smuggler. Working for her was alright at first. Then, she started doing things we didn't agree with. But you don't just quit working for Merryweather. We needed someone to help hide us. Now, Merryweather's convinced we're scheming against her, or something.
Okay. Okay, so she's perhaps a little bit paranoid. How did Vetra help you? I mean, here, this description made it sound like Merryweather was the person to help these people hide, whereas the conversation we had mere moments ago seemed to suggest that it was Vetra, not Merryweather.
You said Vetra helped you. How exactly?
Some of us were trying to get off Gadara. She must have heard about it through contacts. She reached out to us, made up assignments at the outpost. That got us free. We didn't meet her in person, only over comms. Maybe it was never really her.
You think?
Anyway, we thought Merryweather
so was it
would
actually
let us
Vetra?
go. We were wrong.
Okay. Okay, so you were in exile? Going more specifically into your background?
There was some mention of you being a Nexus exile?
Yeah. I'm not proud of it. When we first got here, things were bad. Real bad.
Yeah, so it definitely wouldn't get worse by rebelling.
Scapegoating the initiative. When the revolt happened, I joined.
Yeah, just
Things
revolt.
aren't better
That makes
on
everything
Kadara.
better.
We're out there on your own. Thanks to Vetra, I got a second chance to do things right.
I wish I knew what he was talking about.
Oh, true, but Vetra's... Oh, it's probably Sid. Okay. Okay. Because they thought it was Merryweather who was helping them, but in truth, it seems it was actually someone else. They seem to think that it must have been Vetra, but Vetra claims it wasn't her, so it must have been Sid. So, I guess tell us about the base?
How did Merryweather get a base on this planet?
She made friends on Kadara. Some Angarans who told her about this place. It was a mine or something. Got damaged and abandoned. It was perfect for Merryweather. She wanted to strike out on her own, away from Sloan. We put a lot of work into this place. Carved out a niche, doing things even Sloan won't touch.
Okay, so where does that leave us?
Do you know what Merryweather plans to do with us?
We were always bait for Vetra. Now that Vetra's here, Merryweather has no use for us.
Oh.
And for Vetra, most likely revenge. Merryweather doesn't care for people who meddle in her business. Nothing good in store for anyone, I'm certain.
But then Vetra's gonna be all, no, it wasn't me, I swear. Merryweather's gonna be like, you're just saying that because we're enemies. And then Sid's gonna be like, no, it was me. Dramatic entrance.
There'll be time to talk later.
Okay. That's my theory. Galloway's journal. Prodromos is not exactly what they promised in the initiative pamphlets. Excuse me, we settled Prodromos. It is amazing, thank you very much. But it's real close, okay. Hope hard enough and squint a little, and you can just see it. The menial jobs are tedious, but it feels better than running guns and drugs for Sloan. Never should have been part of the uprising. Second chances are priceless.
I
Yeah.
knew Merryweather was going to find us. I knew it.
Just the complete lack of awareness about the situation. Like, I'm angry, so I'm gonna be mad and shoot people and cause violence, because doing that and breaking off from the established group who have the resources that I need is going to give me more resources and lead to more efficient process. Like, no, of course not. Just the reverse logic, or just lack of logic altogether, that so many people demonstrate in Andromeda does certainly catch you at times as being off-putting.
We need to talk.
Yeah, I know. These people here think I helped them, and somehow Merryweather feels screwed over by it.
So, do you even know this person?
How well do you know Merryweather?
I've heard of her. A smuggler, not affiliated with either the Outcasts or Collective. Never did business with her myself. Kind of a loose cannon from what I've heard.
You don't say. So, but is there, are there any more juicy details you're not letting us in on?
You sure you don't know anything about what happened here?
Ryder, I swear on my sister's life. I don't know what I did to put myself in Merryweather's crosshairs.
But I bet your sister does. Not a coincidence that your name dropped her there. Alright, but why keep us here?
What do you think Merryweather's planning?
Looks like she was gunning for me. Use the people she thinks I helped as bait.
And now you're here.
If you ask me, she's planning to kill me. After a thorough interrogation, of course. Sounds like she wasn't expecting you. Might try to get something out of the Nexus in exchange.
Okay. Well, I think we're ready to break out, I guess? Don't remember if there... I mean, we spoke to, I guess, everyone else. We read a data pad or something along those lines. Don't know if there was any loot in one of the corners.
We'll talk later. Focus on getting out of here.
What I like to hear.
Okay, the way that was phrased made it sound like that was gonna automatically trigger something that was gonna get us moving on to the next part of the quest, but no, it does not seem there is anything else here unless we pick something up with a quick scan. Alright, let's head down. That seems to be the way. Not lootable. Confirmed. Something scannable. The door.
Door controls are not accessible from here, Pathfinder.
There has to be a way out.
I can open the doors from my end, but they're powered down. We need to get them going again.
Totally, Sid.
Your end? Who are you?
I don't like the sound of this, Ryder.
Totally,
Just
Sid.
get those doors some power.
Like, blatantly obvious that that's Sid. And why does Vetra not know? That seems weird. Okay, find a way out of the prison, activate the door. Also, I was so distracted by how that was blatantly obvious that that was Sid that I kind of did not catch what the specific instructions were.
It appears functional.
No way to know until we try.
Alright, let's see. Series 42 generator. 80% unknown metal and 15% unknown material that is apparently not a metal, and then 5% ceramic. A Roan Works Series 42 generator described as a workhorse. Inelegant, but dependable. The generator is currently not in use. Well, let's change that.
Now we just have to get this power flowing to that door.
We're doing a lot of power-related stuff today. Hey, do we do that at the door? I was kind of expecting to see a power line, which is usually something that happens. Ah, this might be of use.
That cable's not going to get power to that door.
Okay, so we need a backup. Is this one any better?
These might connect the door to the generator.
Okay. We should probably turn the generator off before doing that. Is that just me? I'd rather not fry myself to electrical bits. Hey, can we turn off the generator before we do this? Alright.
And there you go.
Alright. Well, this door's opened. Now, are we about to run into all the bodyguards?
Hacking the door tripped a silent alarm.
Oh yeah, I'm sure.
If the guards see
Sure, that
Galloway
is-
and the others, they're dead. We gotta hide them.
Oh.
The storage room.
Everyone, in here.
Oh, where? Is that down below? Oh, it's over here. Okay. Everybody run! Vetra? 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 Vetra, get with the program. Thank you.
That panel. You'll be able to see the guards coming. If
Oh.
you wait till they go by, you could surprise them.
Okay, are we, so is this a stealth mission? Do we actually need to completely avoid getting spotted? Hold on. Aim cameras, press A to scan objects, B to exit. What the heck? Okay, I'm trying to scan them, but that's maybe not meaningful. So, are we trying to, like, sneak up behind them? Deal with the guard. No, we definitely need to kill them. Okay, so...
What the hell? Where are the prisoners?
Are they gone? Is it safe?
They didn't see you. Stay here, and we'll take care of them.
Right, yeah, it just wasn't clear to what extent is this a stealth mission? Or is this just us trying to get an advantage of what is ultimately going to be a fight either way?
That took care of it. We should check that the colonists are okay.
Oh, totally thought that Vetra was an enemy because she was the one person shooting from behind us. Wait, what? Speak to Galloway again? Okay, back over here. So, I mean, also, this was one of the first low submissions that we got immediately, or available to us, which may or may not indicate that this is generally going to be an easier one. Like, that first encounter was very straightforward.
Is everyone okay?
Sidera Nix, you've been pretending to be me, haven't you?
Yep.
How did you?
Think I don't recognize my own tricks? And stop using my voice.
Also, the voice did sound very similar.
Easier to get things done when people thought I was you. You know, because you have contacts and stuff.
So that's totally the way that everything works. If you have
didn't help
context, then
us,
everything
just
just
like you
automatically
said.
works.
It was...
Yeah, my kid's sister.
It was pretty cool. It was dangerous. I mean... Identity theft is not a joke, Sid.
Messing with Kadara gangs? She put people in real danger.
It'll never happen again, I swear.
I just wanted to help. All Galloway and his lot wanted was a new start.
Millions of families suffer every
Enough.
year.
Your ass is getting in a shuttle and booking it back to the Nexus.
But I can help you get everyone out of here.
You hacked a door without checking for safeguards. That's help we don't need.
So walk me through it. I got eyes on the base.
Ryder?
Help is always welcome. You know, maybe a little more planning would be useful too, but...
If she can tell us what we're up against, that'll be a big help.
See?
Fine, but she has to follow my instructions. Can you do that, Sid?
Yes, Vetra.
We'll stay put and follow you when it's safe. Don't want to get caught in the crossfire.
The sooner we get going, the better. Sid'll alert us if anything's headed our way.
Head down the corridor, through the mess hall. That's quickest.
Before we go farther, are you in a safe spot?
Yeah, I'm tapped into their system from outside. Shuttle's well hidden. Trust me, I know what I'm doing.
You have evidence to the contrary? Excuse me, Drac. Excuse me, Drac. Thank you. So it's just that, you know, she's making a huge deal about, what, 3, maybe 4 enemies that were all of the relatively basic variety? Presumably, things will get a little more
Did you
tense.
know your sister was messing about impersonating you?
Do you think I would have let her if I knew? This explains a bunch of the strange reactions I've gotten from some of my associates. Shit.
Oh. My bad.
I have no idea what else she's done in my name.
Okay. Don't need that. This... Oh, we can access this. Let's see. Personal letter template, informal, saved draft 19. Dear Jeff, how are you? How's Grace? Has the Nexus loosened their rules on who gets to come out of cryo? I know you're kind of lost when she's not with you. Remember Mom's 60th? You couldn't stop talking. Terrible. Too sappy? If the wife's not out, this'll just make him sad. Hey bro, how's it going? Turns out Kadara was, not so great, and, nope, not that one. I've left Kadara now. Merryweather, remember her? She was Nexus Security or something. Oh, the Nexus Security people. Merryweather, Sloane, they were no good, apparently. Striking out on her own, and I'm part of her crew now. Leaving the Nexus, now leaving Kadara. I don't know when I'm going to find some place that feels right. Maybe this won't in the end. Hope you're doing okay too. Jason. Okay.
Sid, can you see the colonists?
Yes, they're playing it safe, keeping the corners. I'll keep an eye on them, promise.
That's a pretty steep drop-off, isn't it? Security footage? Was Sid lying to us?
Sid, we're going to need you to hack into systems to cause a disruption.
Right.
Only one. Get in and get out. Too much messing around and they'll track you down.
Okay. Alright, this is...
What's Merryweather up to today? Anyone know?
Is it just one scan? Are we technically supposed to be Sid in this case, or are we still Ryder? Outlaw Raider...
Looks like today's gourmet choices is sawdust and paste, or
Oh.
goop from a tube.
My favorite.
I can send a surge of power to that generator.
The electrical discharge from that could take out some of them.
Okay.
Heard we caught as a pathfinder.
Thought we were only supposed to scan one, otherwise we're gonna get in trouble.
If we don't go...
Ryder?
Little generator. Sure. I mean, again, feels like we could probably handle this either way, but sure, I
Overload
guess.
that generator as I walk through the door.
You got it.
Hello. Oh, that was pretty cool. Oh, maybe we shouldn't be wow, that almost killed us. Oh, turns out that was a hazard. A very dangerous hazard at that. And we are on, like, a tiny sliver of HP. Yeah, I didn't notice that at first.
You really have to kill them all?
Would you prefer they went after your friends?
No, but... Never mind. Take that passageway next. It'll take you through... Huh. It looks like a bunch of cages?
That's not good. Also, we actually did not kill a single person in that encounter. It was all the hazard and also our squad mates, as we ran away from a near-death situation. So that, you know, maybe that's evidence of, once again, how it's at least at the early onset here, despite all the hype about these difficult situations that we need to...
Can we get in here now, Sid?
Get a good plan for. Still not that tough.
I can't open it from where I am.
Which, you know, it's not to say that it's bad for that reason. It's just that the decisions don't feel like they have meaningful consequences for that reason. It's like, you know, we'll handle it either way. So we could run straight out and fight a whole bunch of people, or we could try to be a little bit stealthy and fight one or two less people, or, you know, blow up. Or, granted, it did kill a lot of people to blow up the generator, but it almost killed us as well.
What the hell is happening? Who's messing with security? Why are the feeds down?
Oh, nothing's down.
Someone
I don't know what you're talking
answer
about.
me.
Everything is fine, boss. I don't know what you're talking about. A lot of doors.
Galloway, stay where you are. There's guards in the corridor right by you. They're moving on. Okay. Good, you're clear.
Thanks, Sid. That was a close one.
Yes, this sounds like wraiths. Engineers report. Minor structural concerns as expected. The mining op that used to be here expanded the natural cave system. Newer sections of the complex were excavated but never reinforced. That's not good. Goes without saying that you shouldn't make plans for those sections till you can put up the creds to make them safe. The more immediate concern is the life support systems. Those units are 50 years old. A conservative estimate. If the air scrubbers stop working, we die. If the pressure regulators stop working, we die. Artificial gravity fails, we die. Yeah, you get the picture. After what we went through in the Blitz, I'm with you all the way. I just need you to tell me to my face that you think this is worth it. Okay, so I'm expecting wraiths here, given the sounds. Oh, this is where all the cages are that are containing the wraiths. Okay, so let's see.
Is it true Angara eat those cocking things? Damn, those guys are hardcore.
And we can also eavesdrop in these conversations, which may or may not be of particular interest. So can we base it... So once again, or at least initially...
Can't believe I pulled pet sitting duty again.
Vetra had said that we should only do one of these, otherwise we're going to get caught. Like, is that something we should actually make a point of doing?
Man, this place stinks.
It's the spit bugs. At least they're in a cage.
Yeah, so we can let out the spit bugs. I don't really think they're going to make a huge difference if we do. That looks bigger, although I can't really tell what it is. Can we? Those look like wraiths. Or something of roughly this. No, that's a wraith. That's slightly smaller. Don't know what that is. Those are also spit bugs. These are turrets. I think we go for the turrets.
Turrets. Those might be a problem.
I could turn them off or change the attack protocols.
Sounds good. So again, I'm going to assume that we should only do one. Change the turret protocol, I assume means they're basically attacking our enemies rather than attacking us.
Turn those turrets on Merryweather's men. That should get them out of our way.
Here we go.
It's like, again, maybe we can do all those things. I don't know. Oh. Okay.
That's a lot of animals.
They could be training them as a security measure. If they're still feral, they could soften up those guards for us. Then again, they might also attack us.
So I did scan multiple times, just because it sent us back to this screen, but... that's gonna actually make a meaningful difference that we scan multiple times. Oh. And you say we can deal with that. As long as we make a point of targeting it down. Oh. Hello. Hey, buddy. Take out your friends. Speaking of friends, I don't know who you're going after right now, but please leave them alone. So yeah, like, maybe we can activate all those things and just make matters even easier for us. But because this encounter is not super difficult, it doesn't really matter much either way, which is kind of taking away from the significance of these decisions.
That was intense.
That thing was so big. You guys were amazing. Anyway, you should head through the workshop next. That's the direct way out.
Which may be because, as I said before, this is one of, / possibly even the first of the missions that we got access to, of the loyalty missions that we got access to, so maybe for that reason it is generally easier. Superintendent's note, too low on rations to feed the Ati. They're going to be cranky till we get them more food. So now can we basically just open these for the sake of fighting more enemies? Voluntarily. That's more or less what that comes down to. No additional experience, but we get some more renderable plates, not that we particularly need those. But yeah, so we could have released any of those enemies on them, I guess. I don't know what is through here. Whoa, that, apparently. Also, it's gonna just casually click to the floor while it's at it. That was more terrifying than anything else. Oh. Now, if there are containers in these areas... Okay, granted, with low value loot, maybe that's not a huge deal. Maybe that's not a huge deal, though. Was there something hiding in this one that we did not see? Yes, it's a trash can. Which has biodisinfectant, which is a low value salvage. I guess that is understandable then. Alright, I mean... well, we could just pick fights with all these guys, I suppose. That's where the Fiend came out. It's a door we cannot go through, question mark, correct? More loots of the low value variety. These are spit bugs. We will proceed to flame. Which is a large reason why I'm not sure why they're making such a big deal about them before, because they are pretty much pushovers. And at this point, we, I think, have cleared about most, if not all, of the optional enemies, so... alright, we'll proceed, I guess? Oh, no, that is not anything. Okay.
There's a rat in the system. I want this rat caught.
Metaphorical rat? Yes.
For anyone that does
Okay.
it.
I was gonna say, given how we were just fighting a bunch of caged beasts, I would not have ruled out some giant mutant rat.
Galloway, you guys still doing okay?
You cleared this place out good, Ryder. No trouble so far.
Oh, maybe that's a reason to get rid of all the beasts as well. Dispatch from Kadara. I'll get straight to the point. Sloane's been nice about you muscling in on her turf and stealing business. It's nice having someone out in the boonies gathering resources. Besides, she's got the collective to worry about, and you're minor league. But you want to stay on her good side? How about you look into something for us? There's someone messing about in our business, making people disappear from Kadara. Sid, or they thought Vetra, but actually Sid. They've disappeared with things. Information that Sloane wants and needs. Also, for what it's worth, we have technically sided with Sloane, even though I hate her. Start with Amos Galloway. You've done business. Find him. Maybe you'll find the rest. Okay. Don't need that. Oh, also, we may, and by may, I mean we very nearly got stuck there. So once again, do we do everything? Just one thing? Is,
Hey,
Sid
got a
gonna
message
get caught
about
if we
someone
scan
messing with the
everything?
security system. It's probably just acting up. That thing's glitchy as heck.
I mean, this has to be the thing we go for, right?
That armor will be trouble if the pilot gets inside.
It's plugged into the network for maintenance. I can disable its systems.
Sounds good. Also, we got some Milky Way research data for it. So, otherwise, probably another exploding generator slash engine-y thing. More explosives here and here. There are people next to all those things. But I think we are fine with just doing one
Looks
scan,
like you've
so
got
we
loads
will.
of options.
So that implies that we really should be scanning all the stuff? Oh, it's only disable the armor? It's not like actually control it, like we did for the turrets?
I need to check out that feed again.
Alright. So, I'm hoping that there aren't, like, irreparable negative consequences if we do scan everything, but now I'm going to actually try scanning everything.
Has a charged core, it might explode.
Yeah, okay, so maybe it's that you scan all the stuff and then you can only choose one thing. So you can get all the information.
Dump out whatever's in those tanks.
That stuff cuts right through shields. If
Pressurized
we're not
gas.
careful, that'll hurt both them and us.
Okay, granted that is what I did last time, was jump straight into something like that. So we can weaken their strongest unit, this mech, by weakening its armor. We can blow this thing up, or we can create a hazard that will destroy their shields. And our shields if we go down there. Which I will probably do, possibly accidentally, possibly just through sheer reckless abandon.
Looks like you've got loads of options.
So we have the options. We are allowed to scan all of them. We're just restricted in how many options we can choose. We can choose nothing? Okay. I mean, if we really want to flex, we could do that, I suppose, but let's go... We'll go for the engine.
Sid, can you fire up that engine? Let's blow them up.
Ugh, that's gonna hurt.
Is it? For them? Oh! I didn't realize that we were... I did not realize that the Hydra was right there until it started making a lot of noises and there were some red dots on our face. So I thought that was on the far side of the room, straight ahead, not directly next to us on the right side. Alright, you know, lesson learned. Lesson learned. Fun fact, there is in fact a giant mech right next to us as soon as we enter that room. We should probably do a little more to take note of that.
There's a rat in the system. I want this rat. Double the rations for anyone that does it.
Okay. Okay. We'll read the datapad just to confirm that we have done this, because I don't know if it actually takes note of that, but now, alright. Does that change anything? So this definitely looks like this may be the last encounter for this mission. Or at least of this section of the mission.
Armor will be trouble if the pilot gets inside.
There's the
plugged into
Hydra.
Network for maintenance. I can disable its systems.
Yeah, so the primary thing there was
Hey,
just
got a message about someone messing with the security system.
total
It's probably
perspective.
just acting up. That thing's glitchy as heck.
Perspective aspect messing with me. I thought we were entering from here, is what happened. I thought we were entering from this angle for some reason. I don't know why,
Those
but
old tanks freak me out.
I thought so. So I thought, for that reason,
The coughing should immediately alert you.
that the Hydra was going to be very far away from us, on the opposite side of the room, straight ahead.
It's not like we have a choice, or haven't you noticed?
So when I walked right out here and saw it right next to me, I was a little alarmed. A little alarmed.
If that engine has a charged core, it
Okay,
might
obviously
explode.
we've heard these things before. So there are a lot of basic enemies in here, and then there's also this. I was also probably a little distracted by looking at the exploding thing and seeing how much damage that was going to cause, because there was a bit of a delay, and in doing so, slowly walked up only to be right next to the Hydra. So, if we blow that up, and we turn left, maybe that's the way to go, rather than walking straight into it.
Looks like you've got loads of options.
Or, so yeah, basically, I think you either blow up the engine or gas them, and then you can go to the left. Blow up the engine, then you might even be able to go through the middle. I don't know if there's still any lingering damage there. You disable the Hydra armor, and you may deliberately want to go right in that case, because the Hydra is theoretically weakened. So basically, just you do one of these to give yourself a little more room in a certain direction. So, but the engine and the gas is both down in the middle. So, it's not
Sid, can you fire up
that much of a
engine?
difference between those,
Let's
from
blow
that
them
standpoint, I guess.
Ugh, that's gonna hurt.
It's mostly the Hydra that differs. So we're going to go in, we're going to immediately turn left, we're also probably going to immediately cloak. And by immediately cloak, I mean proactively cloak. And by proactively cloak, I mean we're going to cloak, and then accidentally melee the door to uncloak. And probably should have waited before doing that. Also, there goes any plans of stealth. We should also immediately turn left, as I said. So this is the area that I thought we were going to end up in. Hello, sharpshooter. That did not.
Please tell me you're gonna talk to your sister about all this?
Set off an explosion.
No idea.
Yes, there are a lot of enemies here. This is definitely by far the most difficult encounter that we've had for this mission. I think the key is just finding a happy place, which is a little tricky when it is this crowded. Where's the Hydra? Down there. I think now that we've gotten rid of a bunch of the basic enemies, that should be more so the case now. Well, the Hydra is actually pretty hurt. And it might be the only enemy left. Now we can focus on it, and it shouldn't be too bad anymore. Famous last words, of course. Come on! Oh, somebody went down, distracted. I am not sure this is hitting you. It is definitely hitting you, though.
That was really awful. I knew you guys did stuff like this, but helping you do it, it's different.
That's why I never wanted you involved in the things I did. You can't have excitement and adventure if you can't handle pain and blood.
Well, I guess it's straight through the door next.
Okay. A little better once we had a better sense of our surroundings there. Let's see. More low-value salvage. So it feels like there ought to be some things to scan around here, like the crane rig that we blew up, holding up a reconstructed shuttle engine. Conveniently, the entire system is connected to the base's power grid. Sid can mainly divert more power through the rig, which will likely cause it to malfunction and explode. Just straight up cash. There were several enemies we fought over here. Nobody was kind enough to drop anything for us. Rude. Almost dashed off the edge of the world. We did note previously how steep the drop-off was, and that might have been the end of us, had we done that. He says as he immediately dashes again. Those things are nifty, but they are unscannable. Alright, I think we're good here. This? Not this door. This door. Oh.
Sid, what do we have coming up? Sid?
Looks like...
The big
Sid?
bad boss?
I think someone found my shuttle. I can hear. I think I gotta... Oh no.
Ruh-roh.
Sid! Sid, come in! They found her. They're gonna kill her. Why'd you have to go be the hero, Sid? Stupid. So stupid.
There's still time.
Sid's leverage. They won't kill her just yet. We just have to be quick.
You're right. I think I can trace Sid's signal. Should take us to her. No time to waste, but we have to be careful. They have my sister.
Alright. Deal with security and guards. Okay.
Watch out! They're coming straight for us! That console probably controls the security in this room. We should shut it off!
Alright, if you say so. A moment. The benefits of an extremely long cloak duration.
Turrets powering down. We're clear.
Noise. There were definitely people on those turrets, though.
Ryder, watch out. I think they're trying to get clever.
Care to be more specific with that assessment?
So you're the one that's been killing
Physics
my
there were
people.
very interesting.
I didn't kill anyone. I don't even know how to shoot a gun.
You want your rat Vetra nicks? You come to me.
Help!
It says there's an enemy up above, but I don't know what it's referring to. Besides potentially the deactivated turrets? I'm hoping that's all. That's also an interesting way for you to die. Does it have a helmet on? The heck? You know, obviously there's gonna be something really valuable hidden over here in this deep dark corner. Either that or the Kraken is just gonna magically show up and instantly devour us, giving us a permanent game over. You know, one of the two. I thought that was about to drop off into sheer nothingness, the void. We got experience for opening a door. Great. Love to see it. This door more significant, though. Love how we're holding a sniper rifle around in this circumstance. Just looks ridiculous. Oh, that's not great. That's not great. Maybe a sniper rifle is actually meaningful in this case, though. Precision may be necessary.
Think carefully about your next move, Pathfinder.
Oh, you're holding a bomb. Why are you holding a bomb?
That explodes, it takes you out too.
Right. That is not the smartest of
You won't let
things.
that happen.
Vetra.
Be a lot more...
It's going to be okay. We're gonna get you out of this.
Not the most rational of weapons to threaten us with. Alright, she's not a threat. What do you want? Do we negotiate with terrorists? Or is that something that we don't do in the Andromeda galaxy?
Okay. We're talking. Now what?
Put your weapons on the ground.
That's, I mean, technically. Does she know we have tech and biotic powers? What if we just cloak and sneak up behind? Like, she wouldn't know if we were to cloak right now, right? Okay, okay, no, I'm not going to. I don't think. We can, I mean, I don't know what the consequences of that
So this is
would
what
be.
you're all about?
Or maybe
Kidnapping?
choosing peace
Threatening
slash
children?
accepting
That's
that
what
we
you
could
came to Helios for?
take them on with just tech powers,
You can
if
still do
necessary.
what's right. Turn off the explosive.
Peace.
There's no right or wrong anymore. Just
So you're gonna
survival.
blow yourself up? Because that makes a ton of sense. Alright, so it was just gonna amount to a fight either way. And it's a matter of, do we shoot them first? Get a little bit of an advantage?
I won't let anyone
Seems like that is ultimately what that amounted to. That was not ideal. Oh, hello. Ooh, I almost fell off there. I'm just trying to get up here. I'd like to get rid of these sharpshooters. Wow, I don't even know what that was. A lot of armored people over here. Theoretically means that should be pretty effective, right? We're totally safe here, aren't we? Oh, so our squad mates may be dead.
Are you all right? Are you hurt?
Yes?
I'm fine.
Our squad mates are.
Let's get you to your shuttle.
So our squad mates might have died there. But don't worry about it. Sid is safe and that's all that matters, right? And that's the shuttle? Okay. I saw a lot of armored enemies. Didn't necessarily make out which one was technically the boss. Initially, I saw that one of them had her name. But then it seemed just like a whole bunch of agent. So at some point in time, we actually got a more significant kill. like the shield capacitors, and that is good as well. Although the game really does not like it when we try to combine that with other major augmentations. Despite it not explicitly saying why that is the case. Just randomly prevents us from combining some of those things together. Okay. Is that all? Because it turns out the loot do be pretty good. You know, and then there's the whole aspect where we should probably talk to Sid, the person we were spending all this time trying to rescue and what have you, but that's secondary, really. Because what we need to know is if this light here is always glowing that way, or if it is glowing that way because we can actually scan this pool noodle. No, apparently not. Okay, Sid, one moment, please. That's your shuttle, but why are you not choosing this shuttle, which is objectively superior because it is in this spot where it can more readily get out of its parking spot? Well, this one's going to require some parallel parking, or unparalleled parking, which is not ideal.
Are you all right? Are you hurt?
I think I'm okay.
Help's on the way. We're all good, thanks to you.
I didn't mean for any of this. I'm sorry, okay?
You can't just mess around with people from Kadara. They're dangerous.
These guys wanted to start over, not be exiles anymore. No one else was giving them a chance, so I thought, I can do that. I can help.
I mean, yeah, maybe, kinda, sorta, but you very much did get yourself in over your head.
These are good people who made bad choices. Your sister did the right thing.
She still should have talked to me. I don't want you hurt. There are ugly sides to what I do, and you shouldn't have to deal with them.
You started out when you were my age, and you managed okay?
That wasn't by choice. You saw what we did here. This isn't all fun and games, Sid.
Yeah, I was shocked at first, but I understand now, and I can handle it.
I don't want you to have to.
Whatever. I'm going back to the Nexus, like you wanted.
Feel like these are not exactly the terms on which I expected us to be departing.
That was intense. Are you all right?
Fine. I just need some time to think. Hey, at least the settlers are safe. Thanks for helping me out with this, Ryder. Can we just get moving now?
Alright, achievement unlocked, helping hand. I assume that means that counts as a success. Loyalty earned, Vetra's rank 6 skills now unlocked. Confirmed indeed. And since we have already done basically everything else now that we know of on this little rock, I think we can finally say sayonara to it and hopefully never come back here, because this is not exactly one of my favorite places, since there's not much else outside of just driving around and occasionally going into one of those bubbles. So let's...
Looks like the kid was pretty upset with you.
The usual. Curfew's unfair. Staying back in the Nexus where it's safe is unfair. Everything's unfair. She hates me.
She pulled a "you're not my mom" line?
Not this time.
Ah, you're doing fine.
Drax speaking from experience. Yes. Clearly, it was the difference was our ability to unparallel park. That was really what they needed us to be. Actually, Sid was fine the whole time. She could have escaped whenever she wanted to. She just wasn't confident in her unparalleled parking skills. And so she needed someone else to come to rescue her who was capable of doing that. So that's actually the primary reason why we came there in the first place. Vetra is actually well known for her unparalleled parking skills, which is why, in particular, it was important that we brought her. Sid knew that she would be able to get the job done. Not here, preferably. It's a very dramatic angle. I guess, technically, to leave the... Yeah. The planet, you'd have to do that? Okay.
Vetra was looking for you.
I bet that she was.
You have your email at your terminal, Pathfinder.
I bet that we do. Cora Harper of Foundation? An email from Cora, we've already done your loyalty mission. What's this all about? Thought we were done with you. Okay, from Cora. Ryder, I thought about our talk after Lucinia. Got some inspiration. Come and chat next time we're both on the ship. Cora. Okay. I guess that's good news. And we probably have now more stuff here of the various varieties. And might have one more mission done here as well. Nice. Okay. And I think that was the team we were waiting to get back to do this, because they're the only one that is at least above 50%, because they are our generalists. Okay. And sure. A whopping 2 crates. With renderable plates. Oh no, that's from the cryopod stuff. No, Crusader, which is much more significant. Although that isn't going to prevent us from... dissuade us from selling it right here, right now. We did do a bunch of selling earlier, so we should be fine here, although we should probably sell our salvage too. And let's pick up, if we can, do you have more shield boosters? You do. Let's just nab these while we're at it. And that's probably all we need. Okay, nice. So, Vetra, we should chat with her. We should also chat with Cora. Probably both on the other level, I imagine. He says after he does not make a point of confirming one way or the other. Look, they're here on this level. Trust me. Here's Cora.
Got a minute? I could use a favor.
I mean, we just did you a favor. We did you, like, a loyalty mission's worth of favors. But sure.
Sure, what do you need?
I kept thinking about Sarissa and my not being a pathfinder. And the thinking turned into a project on Eos. Can you help me finish it?
What kind of project?
I'll put the nav points in the helm. Come along and I'll show you.
You just successfully did nothing to describe the project further. So, thanks. Actually, been a while since Vetra's been back in that spot. Heard the pie jack. I didn't see the pie jack. Let's just, zig and zag to raise extent possible.
What's going on?
I get influence with power players, only to have it squandered by a sister calling in favors under my name.
Now you're on the penalty kill?
Got the genome for... Oh, what is it? Cats. Pulled from storage. 1, there's no place to grow anything right now. 2, it seems they aren't even a food. So why?
I'll be honest, I'm more of a dog person than a cat person. So, poor priorities.
She just has her priorities a little backwards.
Or did I say I'm more of a cat? I'm more of a dog person than a cat person.
She got this idea in her head that she needs to help everyone. And she thinks what we do is so exciting, but doesn't really understand what it takes.
Is it because you're sheltering her from reality?
How can she, when you keep trying to shield her from your work?
I just didn't want her to grow up before she had to. Like I did.
She's shown she's ready. Trust that. You can't protect her forever.
But what if she gets herself into another mess? What if she gets hurt?
Well, we just have to trust in her. And hopefully after having had a bit more of a dramatic experience, she may be more self-aware. Okay, so we are romancing Vetra. We are romancing Vetra, so I think we will choose this option then.
Whatever happens, I'm here for the both of you. I care about Sid. Because I care about you.
Ryder, I don't know what to say.
Aw, shucks.
You don't have to say anything. How about I let you get back to work?
Alright. I mean, you don't have to say anything, but I am gonna immediately initiate another conversation with you, so you are gonna have to say something.
What can I do for you, Pathfinder?
And you will say nothing of any meaning?
You probably have work to do. We can chat later.
You know where to find me.
Okay. Talked with you, or talked with Vetra, talked with Cora. Those are the two that we knew about specifically. Wanting to chat.
Need something? I can stop what I'm doing.
And Jaal'S our litmus test to see if the more generic squad mates who are not directly involved in those missions had anything else to say, and if he is indicative of the rest of the crew, then the answer is apparently no.
I'll see you later, Jaal.
They don't.
Stay strong and clear.
Okay. So, let's... Oh. Alright, we will ladder our way up. Okay. Whoa. Okay, I didn't realize everyone was waiting for us. So, those were at least several now of the missions that we were targeting. We did Cora's loyalty mission, we did Vetra's loyalty mission. We've not yet done PB's. Oh, true, Jaal'S. Jaal'S was the other one that was probably next on the list because PB is technically not yet at the stage where it is officially her loyalty mission, and similarly for Drac was somewhere here. There you are. Yeah. Okay, so I think we probably, for that reason, go for Jaal'S mission, and this one does also look very significant, not just from the loyalty standpoint, but because this is perhaps going to be the deciding mission for what's going to happen with the Rokar, which it seems as though the game is very much building up Rokar versus aliens, non-Angaran people, and the tension there. Basically, do you just accept the fact that they're constantly going to be at war, and so you have to defeat the Rokar in combat? Or is there some way to rebuild bridges between the Angara and the other non-Angaran, quote-unquote, aliens, and Aksul specifically, with those people, so that you can have peace? And we've been kind of trying to, and by kind of trying, I mean, we have been trying to do that. There just hasn't been much indication yet of that being successful, but I do think this will be the time when perhaps all the dominoes that we've been setting in line may start to fall. So, okay, I think that is next. And it's been a very long time since we were on Havarl. In fact, at this point, that might be the planet that has been the longest since we last visited. I think it must be. So we were very thorough with our initial trip there. And we might have had one subsequent trip in which we also did a fair bit. And for that reason, we thought that there was not really anything particularly urgent sending us back in that direction for a very long time, until now. Just double check if there's anything else popping up here. Main quest. No, I think we're looking to go this route. So is this potentially the system where they wanted us to scan for the stuffs, the satellite thingies? Apparently not. Comet Dawnstar? I don't remember that, but that is an epic name. Okay. So I'm actually curious how many other things there are on Havarl. I think, for that reason, we could potentially make this more of a trip to do a whole bunch of things here. I don't know how long this list is. The list is not long, though. Let's see. Rokar Manifestos, a Lost Sister. It's probably worth checking what those things are at the very least before we head over. Only 2 available minerals on Havarl? I guess that explains why there's so much shy platinum there. Okay, hold on. Let's read up real quick. Let's read up real quick on what the other things on Havarl are, and obviously the primary thing that we were heading over here to do was Jaal'S loyalty mission, but to at least understand if it is worth hanging around. Oh, there's only one other thing popping up here. It says it's on hold. Wait. Sage Amon's sister, Amara, left Mithra. Okay, you're throwing too many names at me here. Left this other place years ago. Longs to see Amara again, but she likely moved away from Dar Palav when it was overtaken by the jungle. However, records of her whereabouts might still exist. Return to the Sage. Is that the guy who's like way up on the bazillionth floor of that tower? On hold, wait for a way to cross the chasm to Old Palav. Huh. I mean, this must have been at this state in the quest for a very long time. So I'm a little surprised that it has not progressed. Unless maybe this very thing that we were doing with Jaal is going to end up being the trigger, which would seem kind of strange. I mean, it is a big mission, yes, but you'd think it'd be some kind of main quest thing that would open up other options. So what was the other quest in this area, though? Because there were 2 showing up. And I'm not really all that keen on going through every single additional task. Definitely not a priority op. It's probably something else here. Old memory stuff. This is the Noble system, but apparently that's not where we are now. That's not the right place for you. Eos, no. Eos, no. That's the one that we are. Okay. I mean, that may mean that we're basically just going in for Jaal'S mission and not much else, which I think is fine. As I was saying, that is the reason why we came here. It was... yeah, Rokar Manifestos is the other thing that I don't think we had read up on in our journal, so I don't remember what that is. But perhaps we shall see. Okay. So I think our loadout is presumably still fine. Actually, what is our... oh yeah, for a second I thought that bar was just past the point where we were gonna have some recharge penalties. And this is the big thing. So we're probably once again gonna get to re-choose our team when we actually initiate the mission itself on Havarl. So, not that we need to be totally decisive here, but we probably should just make Jaal one of these 2. And once again, especially because Jaal is one of those characters that has a tendency to charge straight into enemies and get himself killed very quickly, we probably should have someone who's a little more reliable, a little more tanky. Drac, Vetra, PB, typically being the 3 that we choose of that variety. And we did just go Vetra, Drac last time, so maybe we go PB as the other one? Make this the team? I don't know. Sure. So I'm expecting a lot of Rokar fighting here, but...
entering atmosphere, LZ in sight.
A conclusion, a climax to the mission, in which we either have a major fight against Aksul, or possibly some kind of difficult decision, a reaction, or just an instance in which the game checks to see how much have you tried thus far to build toward peace. Or is this just a last-second half-hearted gesture that Aksul will see through? Just curious. To what extent? Whoa. Yeah, I don't know. Oh, well, we should fast travel here, I guess, but just curious to see, you know, how much ground we had not yet covered, slash, were there any other things that we didn't really expect to see in terms of other missions to address? But no, it does seem like we were really thorough in past trips here. Where are you exactly? That was not as efficient as I wanted it to be. Nor was that. Nor was that. 7th time's the charm. Alright, don't remember why you're the person we're talking to here, but thought there was a shopkeeper here previously. No, but that person was a human. I don't know what the deal is with you, but sure.
Any word on Devint and the others?
No. All traffic and communication from the Forge have stopped. It's under Aksul's control now.
That's the Forge is someplace here where he's trying to, and has thus far been somewhat successful in recruiting additional people toward the Rokar's cause. So it does seem like we need to stop him from doing that.
Any advice on how to get inside?
My shuttle can drop you nearby, but that's about all I can do.
I mean, that's not bad.
Ephra doesn't want to make enemies of the Rokar unless we have to.
We'll keep a low profile.
We absolutely will not end up keeping a low profile. Without question, we are going to go over there and we are going to immediately start all guns blazing. There's the pilot. There is the person I was thinking of, the shopkeeper.
Check it out.
Just double check what you have. Check it out. Meh. Remarkably meh. Okay. Let's get out of here. If the pilot would speak to us, that is. The pilot really does not. The pilot will speak to us.
Avka says you need a ride to the Forge. The quieter, the better. Not a miracle worker, but I'll do my best. You ready?
Alright, I think so. Don't really think there's anything else for us to do, preparation-wise.
Let's do this.
So if we're talking about difficulty, as I was saying before, I think that Vetra's loyalty mission definitely was significantly easier than, I guess easier than Korra's was, whereas, and we suspected that was probably because technically it's one of the first ones you get access to, if not the very first one, so it's kind of a way of giving you a relatively simple, straightforward introduction to loyalty missions. But this one, at least for us, became available a little bit later on. Now, maybe that had something to do with just the sequencing with which we did other missions, so maybe we shouldn't read into it that way, but my point is, this might be more difficult than the previous mission that we just did. And we did set ourselves up already in this regard, so we should be fine.
Jaal, you sure you want me here? Bringing an outsider
will give the Rokar a different perspective. Just follow my lead. We'll get my family back.
Oh, true, they captured slash are trying to convert Jaal'S family, and some of them are starting to join the Rokar, and this is a very cool looking place. And what just happened? Why did we just drop an extra couple of inches? All right, bye-bye.
We don't want to alert the Rokar.
Quiet isn't exactly my thing.
It'd be easier if we knew where to find your family.
The Moshai brings all of her students to the Forge. I know my way around. The Govatan, a welcome center, is up ahead.
Okay, so once again, is this actually a stealth mission? Do we actually need to sneak in? We have a very long duration cloak, so it is good for that, but... Or are you just saying this stuff because it feels thematically fitting, when in truth, no matter what happens, we're gonna end up in a firefight either way. I do like the vibrance of all the wildlife. The flora in particular. I haven't really seen much fauna in this area, I guess. But that was the case before in other areas of Havara, but here in particular.
It's deserted. The Govatan is usually filled with travelers.
You know what that means.
No traffic in or out.
Doesn't make it less creepy.
Where are the Rokar?
Someone cue the Admiral Akbar, please. One moment. I must get on top of this building. First I must get on top of this rock, and then I must get on top of this building. Because it can be done, and therefore it must be done. So
why is the forge so important?
It's one of the few ruins that predates the Scourge. We don't have many of those left.
Alright, if you say so. So let's show it the respect it deserves. Hello? Oh, what's this? Security terminal. Forcibly shut down. Cannot be restarted without repairs, but I am able to access raw data. Sending to Governor Shee's office. I assume that gave us intel then, although I didn't really notice. It's not eyeing that specific aspect. What do we have here? Log onto network. Oh.
It's got juice, but everything's offline. Should I reestablish comms?
Let's leave it for now. Might tip off the Rokar, wherever they are.
Yeah, I'm with you on that one. Although we can still log in to read the stuff nonetheless. Maybe? Possibly? Does that mean we just completely ignored everything that Jaal told us? Or does this actually not matter? And that was purely just flavor text and not much else. Perhaps we're about to find out. We have a priority guest arriving early tomorrow morning. I've marked the shuttle number for you. Please notify me the moment it enters our airspace. I will personally oversee the orientation process. This is from... Don't think we know that name? Hey, rumor has it someone important is visiting tomorrow? Droka tell you who it is? The Moshai? No, she was uncharacteristically vague. Just said to notify her once the shuttle arrived. Do you think it's weird she's bypassing all security protocol? Aksul, maybe? Well, I mean, we know that he arrived recently, so that'd be... reasonable guess for a few reasons, I suppose. All personnel are to meet in the courtyard immediately. There's no cause for alarm, but attendance is mandatory. And did that tip off Rokar? Because we technically did still go in and do the thing that Jaal said we should not do. Kinda, sorta. Visitor log. Nafoa Sabe, 30 arrivals. Are these locations? Are these days? Days. So they had a lot of arrivals on a certain couple of days in a row, otherwise very little, comparatively.
Arrivals were steady until a week ago.
Most Angara come here at least once in their lives. Either for the tradition, or to share knowledge.
Which did you visit for?
A bit
Neither.
of both. Come on. Let's keep looking for Baranch and the others.
Okay. So that's this building. So the Rokar come out and ambush us when exactly? Right when we're in the middle? Can we walk in this? I want to walk in this.
We're going to find your family, Jaal.
Just hope they haven't done anything stupid.
That's a way of phrasing it.
Wherever the Angara went, they left a lot of supplies behind.
Seriously, where'd they get all this stuff?
Aya and the Resistance provide support. If the Ket destroyed the forge, it would be a terrible blow.
Is that so now, Jaal? Okay. Can we play this one without alerting the Rokar?
Found something. Looks like a journal.
Everyone's so enamored with Axul. You'd think he was the most shy. I told Droka to make him leave, but she said that all Angara are welcome at the Forge, especially one trying to protect our culture.
Protection? Is that what he promised?
Cultural protection? That's extremely paranoid then. Oh, is this the same thing? It also has the icon saying we actually need to interact with it. Alright, let's read these first, I suppose. Aya shipments. Nutrient paste, 4 vats. Medical supplies, 1 crate. Batteries, 4 containment cells. Glass products. Lens, cylinders, beakers, 3 crates. Miscellaneous equipment, 2 crates. Rokar supplies. Either convince the Rokar to share their supplies and let me do my job to catalog all this, or tell them to get out of my storage room. Logs have never been such a mess. You'd think they'd be happy to have someone itemize their... whatever that is. But they won't let me near a single crate. You invited them here. Do something about this.
Everyone's so enamored with
Okay,
Axul.
that's the same one.
You'd think he was the most shy.
But that's not what I meant to do. I was trying to see if that was scannable, and it was not.
All Angara are welcome at the Forge,
Yeah,
especially one trying to protect our culture.
What's that? Oh. Containment cells. I think we're good in here then. Climb up on this building as well. I mean, do you even need to ask that question? Can we... That was maybe asking for trouble. And we may have had some potential to get ourselves stopped.
No. The researchers who live here needed a place to welcome visitors.
Okay, but that doesn't explain why it's technically not still part of the same thing. Just an extension of the Forge. Usually you'd think a welcome center for the Forge would technically still be part of the Forge.
What happened? Where is everyone?
Not sure, but I don't think the answer's here.
That looks a little bit suspicious.
Some of these are on loan from the repository.
Avela and the researchers often exchange artifacts.
Markings suggest this relic was on loan from the repository. Okay.
And people say I'm messy.
They left in a hurry.
Or were forced out.
Frida. I can't believe it. I'm finally here. The Forge. Curator Droka insisted on a short rest before we visited the site, but I can hardly sit still. Helgar and I have waited years to be selected. We'll finally see the markings in person. Maybe even be the first to translate them. Something tells me that did not come to pass. Oh, it's just another way out. Okay. That building... Don't think we've done this one, have we? Or have... No, we would have gotten this. We definitely would have looted that. Oh, there is a terminal. Another audio log.
Axul pulled us out of the lab today. Talked to us about the Milky Way menace.
Ah, that's
Sheva
probably
says he's
us.
a radical, but he's only saying what everyone's thinking.
The makings of a new recruit.
Axul's very persuasive. My brothers and sister are proof of that.
Okay, let's see. Flora specimen acquired. Leica obtained samples of flora from the Forge with minimal difficulty. Droka was worried about uprooting specimens near some of the older pillars, but I was able to satisfy her concerns with some low-risk candidates on the site's fringe. For now, we will focus on care, monitor water intake, and determine an average life expectancy. That will give us a baseline for future experiments. Our latest attempt to recreate the heat-shaping process used to build the forge was unsuccessful. Heat-shaping process? We were able to heat the rock samples to their melting points, but they simply turned into magma and became unmanageable. Once the samples cooled, the surface was marred with ripples and lacked the sharp, smooth edges we were striving toward. We're just trying to magma moat.
Power's on, but running low.
No one bothered to turn it off.
Is that, oh, that is this the building in question? That's the building in question. Oh.
You hear that?
Aksul's voice.
Yep. Alright, but let's check at least this room out first. Another audio log here.
One of the Roka left a slice of fresh elmuk at my station.
I really thought you were going to say pizza.
But he wouldn't say 2 words to me. I think they've been ordered not to become friendly with us.
Cthulhu, my brother, loves elmuk. It's his favorite.
Think he's the one who brought it to her?
Maybe. But the rest doesn't sound like him. Cthulhu is very talkative.
Okay. Let's see. Request equipment upgrades. I know we discussed in person, but Vestir believes that with just a few resources from the Resistance, he could make the upgrades we desperately need. We could finally determine the exact date the Forge was created. Aren't you tired of saying, sometime before the Scourge? We've been studying the site for years. We should have this answered by now. More on the upgrades? Like I told you before, I'm not against the upgrades, but we're in the middle of a war. The Resistance already goes out of their way to provide us with food, ammunition, and whatever resources, whatever materials they can find. I can't ask Ephra for more. You'll just have to make do with what we have. What about the Rokar, then? Aksul was once a scientist in his own right. Maybe he'd help us. I'll reach out. No promises. And don't send another request about this until I've gotten back to you. Well, that may explain why Aksul visited here in the first place. I would like to be up on the top of the buildings, please. They do not want to coexist, they want to conquer, he says. Yeah, I think we have gotten all of them at this point. That being the buildings. Oh, let's just casually charge straight into a tree while we're at it. Shy Platinum. Other things hiding in corners here. I mean, we are on Havarl, but apparently not. Can we save here? Probably not. No. Okay. But let's head in. I think we are just about ready to go. Now, is Aksul going to be here right now? I'm guessing probably not. Probably more likely that we'll see more of the, for lack of a better term, the usual people that would be here working / studying in and around the Forge, and they'll be converts, and then that will lead to eventually an Aksul sighting later on. That's my guess.
Thought you said you got them all.
I did. They must have.
Alien, kill it.
Oh, okay, no. Hello.
Shit. Hope no one heard that.
They shot first. We had to defend ourselves.
Alright, well, so apparently that was gonna devolve into a fight no matter what. Inform Aksul that the Govatan has been thoroughly searched. All civilians are accounted for.
Accounted for? What does that mean?
Were they rounding them up?
Starting to sound increasingly like cats. Oh, hello, friends.
So much for going in quiet.
Hey, they shot first.
Surrender's not an option with your Oka. Take them out!
Oh, hello. Hello, friend.
Bring the police to Aksul.
That's a little extreme. Kill them, bring their bodies to our leader? There was totally someone over there, wasn't there?
How many of them are there?
Don't give them an opening!
Sounds like beasts. Hey, pal. I feel inclined to melee you.
Just give up already!
Keep fighting!
One moment, please. We'll be back fighting in a second. Don't worry. Oh, that's not great.
We can't keep this up! Got one!
Probably can. Just more definitively determine the directions from which they're shooting us. Ow, that hurt. Shields back, please. That's not great. Did that guy die? Don't you throw grenades at me either. One of our squad mates just walked straight into that grenade.
Any sign of your family?
No.
The Rokar know we're here. Maybe that will flush them out.
Okay, let's clean up some scraps. Theoretically, assuming that that is not the direction we came from, we should go back. Oh, here if we're trying to come back from where we came from and.
Hear himself talk.
That's the direction we came from, right? Okay. Just retracing our steps a bit? Yeah. Okay. Start from one end, work our way over. I did see a point in time where the game was instructing me to use the scanner. That obviously was not it, but also good from that standpoint. Not gonna lie, I do like the name, the Milky Way Menace, a lot. It does have a ring to it. He does have a knack for that. Oh. Is that a thing? No. We are altruistic by nature. Did he just say that?
Guess we interrupted dinner.
Oh. Sorry. The supplies shipped in with the latest recruits, along with the nutrient paste left by the researchers, should keep us stocked for the foreseeable future. That said, we always see a boost in morale after a fresh shipment of Elmok arrives. A little luxury goes a long way with the young ones. Nutrient paste, Haripos, Elmok, nutrient paste, nutrient paste. Yeah, it's mostly nutrient paste on the menu.
He really hates us.
The Ket made us fear the unknown. Your arrival will bring change to the Angara.
They've got more than just nutrient paste.
Garpana from Eladon. Kaysar from Kadara. The Resistance didn't send these. Rokar must have brought it with them.
I was gonna say, this just says nutrient paste, but apparently that doesn't paint the full picture. Nope. Milky Way people are physically feeble. Thanks, ma'am. That one hurt. With the researchers gone, the Gobaton is quiet. Unnervingly so. I thought I'd find a place in Rokar among the like-minded brothers and sisters. But no one talks to each other. Aksul hasn't left the forge in days. Something is wrong. Do like, and I think we've said this before, but how the type of loot that you get in various places is consistent with the types of enemies and general locations you're in. Like, you're gonna get Ket stuff when you're in Ket areas, fighting Ket enemies. You can get Angaran stuff when you're here on Havara, when you're fighting the Rokar, all those types of things. We've been in here. This is, I have successfully, accidentally circled back an additional time. Okay, see, but this is kind of what I meant, is this is going to get very easy to lose our sense of perspective. I don't think we've been in here.
This also part of the Gobaton?
Living quarters for the archaeologists. Though the Rokar have obviously made themselves at home.
Oh. Commando helmet? Is that the... No, that's a generic one. For a second there, I thought that was a extra rare version of something that we'd only just seen for the first time. It's like, we like the Angaran stuff, generally speaking, for our armor.
Axel claims we must leave the forge for our own safety. Bregon and a few others resisted.
Oh, that was very concise. Okay. Let's see. Upcoming visit. I'm sorry, Ogan. I need to delay my visit a little longer. A very special person has come to Bosun's work. His name is Aksul, and he's like Dregnar from the stories your brother reads you. A strong and honorable fighter for our people. Bosun must listen to this man. Go where he goes. Do what he says, just like you listen to your mothers. I promise to bring you a gift to make up for my absence. I can't wait to see how tall you've grown, Ungan. Stars Light Your Way, Tefin. They're siblings, same last name. Same here. Different group of siblings, but siblings as well. Jafon says you deserted? Are you crazy? That you're living on Kadara? What the scut happened? Our mothers are worried. I'm worried. Get back to me. Should have known Jafon couldn't keep his mouth shut. Yes, I'm on Kadara. No, I won't go back to the Resistance. I'm done with this war, Dogan. I've killed enough. You're safe in your lab. You don't understand. The Ket? When that human rescued the Moshai, they found out the Ket were once us. I know it sounds crazy, but it's true. All this time, I've been killing our people. I can't go back. I won't. Besides, I kind of like Kadara. It's not nearly as bad as our mothers made it out to be, so don't worry about me, Bosura. Okay. That seems like everything in here. That was... Whoa. That just made me dizzy. Should I read into the music changing? Okay, it didn't really change. This looks like we may have accidentally gone backwards again. We did not accidentally go backwards again. We've not been here before. Okay, was that it? Oh, the Milky Way menace refers to humans more generally, or everyone from the Milky Way more generally, not specifically us. Now I'm extremely disappointed. I wanted us specifically to be the Milky Way menace, because that was such a great antagonistic or a great name for an antagonist. And obviously, at least from Aksul's perspective, we are the antagonist. Someone we're interested in? Yes.
It's locked. Sam, any suggestions?
I detect electrical wiring underground, Pathfinder. You can use the scanner to follow the wires.
Oh, there we go. Huzzah. Recently turned off this generator, perhaps to keep us from leaving the Govatan.
There. Doors should be unlocked.
Okay.
There's a bridge to the ruins beyond those doors. My family should be there.
Anybody home? That don't look good.
Rokar didn't want us going that way. How are we going to get to them now?
We'll have to jump down.
All right. I'm in. Say no more. I'll be honest, we probably would have jumped down anyway. Just to see if we could. I mean, it is very beautiful. We can make that jump. Right? Right? Oh, that was supposed to be a running start, and it really did not turn into a running start. Ah, no problem.
Now what?
Up the hill.
We got company! Sharpshooters!
Oh.
Damn it! I wanted to look around!
Aksul must have sent reinforcements!
I also wanted to look around. One moment while we,
Take them out.
spoil their party.
Watch your head!
Push to higher ground!
Alright, Stevie Wonder.
The target disappeared.
Oh, you are not a friend.
Damn!
That's the most melee combo-y of kills we've probably had our entire playthrough thus far. Ow. That was mean. Technically weren't primed. That's very nice of you. Oh, hello. Alright.
These stones are massive.
They were shaped from the very bedrock of Havaro, using
Wow.
Oh.
Look at these.
Okay, sorry, Jaal.
Just wait till we get inside.
Inside?
There's a cave ahead. That's where the forge is. And hopefully where my family is.
Alright, let's clean up a little bit here. Put away our toys. What the heck? Hidden techno. Well, can't fool me.
I can see why this place is so important to the Angara.
Okay, backtrack slightly. Fortunately, this time it is much more obvious where we came from and where we have yet to go. This looks cool. Does not look like there's anything over there. For a second, it seemed like there's going to be a skinny little pathway. A narrow pathway along the edge that, if you noticed it and carefully followed it, would have some very well hidden and very significant loot. Or something else. Ooh. Okay. But yeah, it's not as if we can scan all these things individually. So, looking like we may be in the clear here to push on ahead. Didn't check that very beginning area there, but yeah, we'll be fine. We'll be fine. Oh, and there's also...
Up there.
Oh! Okay. Yeah, we'll take the ultra rare augmentation. I do think we have several of those, but... Dispatch from Aksul. Starting today, only the most faithful will be allowed inside the forge. New recruits must be vetted by Aksul. Oh. Whoa. These ones are scannable.
What was this place before the Scourge?
Everyone's got a theory. The Moshai believes it was a monument.
And you?
I like to think of it as a market. A gathering place of some kind.
Okay. Carbon dating shows they are pre-Scourge, 4% trace minerals, 8% augites, and a whole bunch of unknown minerals of different varieties. That looks like another oh, it's a container. And we checked this. Yeah. Okay. Let's head up. I'm gonna do this again, though? That's just a proactive, do it right here type of thing? Oh, perhaps. Hello! Shooting us with their invisible guns.
I count 3. Wait! I know those voices.
Lastu! Go for backup!
It's Jaal'S family.
Lastu! Wait! Stop! It's Jaal. Jaal, is that you?
Oh. Okay, you know. Maybe that's just a typical traditional Angaran greeting, right?
Barrage. Our mothers sent me.
Or maybe you're setting him straight.
All of them.
Did our mother send this human too?
Hey, so you must be Jaal'S sister. Nice to meet ya.
Jaal, you didn't tell me your sister was such a badass.
Your people are a joke.
Tevint, please. Why'd they send you? Because we've lost enough to the kid. They're afraid to lose you to this insane cause. But, Jaal, I want you to meet my friend, so you can see that Aksul is wrong.
We do want peace. And we can make it... That's maybe... There's a chance that the phrasing there may very much make it sound as if we are similar to the cat, and that's not really a direction we want to go in.
We need to work together against the cat. We're here to stay. I want to get along.
Who cares?
The Angara don't want anything you have.
We don't need you.
Jaal, our mothers want us to live truthfully.
It's because I love my mother that I will die for this cause. Is going to blow this place
up.
That's why he sent the researchers away.
Stop.
He has bombs.
Talking.
Stolen from your people.
Those bombs go off, it'll look like the initiative did it.
We have to disarm them.
And he shot. Oh, never mind. That was not Aksul. Yeah, no, you very much done goofed.
No. The bombs in the forge. I'm okay, Jaal. I'll be fine.
You gonna be alright? You did kind of just get shot in the back, point blank, by your sister.
You gonna make it?
He's gonna say yes, but he's not.
Axul. Don't let him win.
You got it.
Jaal'S just gonna casually move on and
you're here.
paying no mind to the fact that his brother is probably about to die.
If Axul's willing to blow up the forge, there's nothing he won't do. Ryder, if he shows up.
I know. Follow your lead.
Again, I think we're trying, if we can, to see if we can still get peace between the Rokar and everyone else, but that may not actually be an option. We will see. We have a map to work with here. I mean, not that that's particularly helpful. I mean, I feel like this is going to be one of those times where Cloak is going to be very useful to us. There are, in fact, enemies. This one's not... can we just scan that real quick? Not clear where exactly. That is not an enemy. That is. Alright, so I think, you know, again, although some hints of stealth, or implied stealth, in truth this is just a run in there and get the job done kind of situation. That was not the best shot.
The bombs are already set. How long do we have?
A few minutes at most.
Oh.
Great! Just great!
Okay, I don't actually know the extent to which that is a real thing. Do we have a time limit here? That's set.
Now the others! Watch your head!
I do think, ow, that we are about to die, first of all. But also, that a cloak is going to be useful. Like, a lot. But also that we... Oh, that's useful as well. Also that we should probably, perhaps destroy some of these enemies before we just run around disarming all these things. Oh, thank you, Jaal. That was actually very well timed. Kind of like my cloak back. Right about now. Not gonna lie, for a second I thought that said reactivate. It's like, no, I don't really want to do that.
Ugh, more bad guys.
What's left? Okay, so do they spawn indefinitely until we do this? Like, possibly. But this is just exponentially easier with the cloak.
Okay, all the bombs are disarmed. Now just the Rokar to worry about. Don't go easy on them.
One moment, please.
Watch the pillars, or we'll lose the forge trying to save it.
What? I mean, I'm standing next to a pillar.
Got him!
Like, you're trying to suggest they're gonna, like, self-destruct or something?
Stay alert. They'll use whatever tactics necessary.
One moment.
Gunfight in an ancient ruin? Is it my birthday?
Glad one of us is having fun.
It is a cool area, as I said before. Oh, hello. Get back here. Axul? Or more build up first? I mean, that was probably supposed to be a really dramatic and difficult encounter, but it was kind of a cakewalk with Cloak, with a really long duration.
Jaal! Jaal! I killed Lathul! I killed him! I'm so sorry!
He's not dead. You are lucky.
I lost my mind, Jaal.
Hey,
I want to go home.
An absolute idiot.
But the cause. I joined because of you.
I shot our brother.
Don't leave
Let
me.
her go. I only want soldiers who are committed to
Oh,
our
hey, Axel.
cause. Not weaklings who stand by and watch the destruction of our people at the hands of aliens.
Ah. Cause is corrupt. You're desperate. So again, if possible, I'd like to try to be peaceful with Aksul. Granted, when he just shows up with 20 snipers in the trees, pointed their little red dots at the top of our head, it's not great. And neither of these things feel particularly diplomatic.
Blowing up your sacred birthplace seems pretty drastic. Your cause is falling apart. Like you.
I speak for our people. And I say, you're done, Helios. Martyr me. Please. I dare you.
Okay, so I don't want to shoot him. But it's legitimately unclear to me if either of these things would amount to us shooting him. Don't tempt me is implying I won't do it now, but you are making me want to do it, which might then immediately escalate into us still doing it. Or you're sad and crazy. Is that a justification for shooting him? Or is that you're sad and crazy and so I don't need to shoot you? I guess I'm doing this one?
I don't kill unarmed crazy people.
There we go.
They move onto our planets. They take our resources, make us weak.
I've watched Ryder make planets habitable.
Exactly. And they'll never let us forget
He
it.
rescued your beloved Mosai.
I know.
Saved her life.
I know. Stop defending them.
The Mosai trusts Ryder and...
Stop. We've been fighting the wrong enemy. Maybe the enemy is this traitor.
Is he?
Jaal?
Don't! The Mosai trusts Ryder. You've become a danger to your own people.
Come on, Jaal.
Walk away.
Or I kill you and reveal the resistance for the traitors they are.
Don't kill him. But that doesn't look good. Ah, it was just a test. Now, have you basically just... I mean, obviously you didn't kill Jaal, but have you functionally martyred him?
The alien is not the monster here. I love my people.
So you shot them in the face?
Come on. Let's get you home.
You okay?
Yeah. Thanks.
Building bridges achievement unlocked. I mean, that sounds like the diplomatic solution that I was hoping we might get.
I'm so sorry, Lathu. I never...
Couldn't even kill me at short range.
They are here. Let's give them a minute. Thank you for trusting me. Killing Aksul would have made the Rokar stronger.
He shot you.
I'm glad he did. It exposed how far he'd fallen.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, basically it was just a demonstration right before their eyes of us having the opportunity to shoot and kill Aksul, but voluntarily choosing not to, whereas Aksul, I mean, he didn't kill Jaal, but he shot him in the head, so pretty hard to argue that he didn't at least have some intent to do so, even if he didn't succeed. So let's see, he could still be a threat. It was pretty reckless. It was a pretty cool move. Just stood there, unfazed, as the bullet grazed his cheekbone.
Aksul walked away, but what stops him from coming back?
His pride will keep him in the shadows. You have done my people, and me, a great service. Thank you, Ryder.
Is that a handshake or... nope, not exactly.
You've been practicing.
Except that I totally forgot that was the thing, so not really.
We should get back. I want to say goodbye before my family heads home.
Alright, and we leveled up from that. And we have successfully not only earned the loyalty of Jaal, but as I said, I mean, based on the description of the name of the achievement, at least that we got from that, it sounds like that was the peaceful resolution that we were looking for, but that perhaps still remains to be seen, at least to a certain extent. That's just barely enough for us to level as well. Okay. So we were, starting to invest more in Overload, mostly just to give us additional power on our passives for tech, because we're primarily doing tech. I mean, I guess you could make a case for going with one of the weapon-based passives. I'm just a little conflicted with that, because yes, at the moment we're kind of, sort of, using a sniper rifle. It's mostly just because we happen to have put the most meaningful augmentation on that, and we aren't really, and it's functionally a way to just increase our tech damage further, and in order to maximize the effectiveness of that, we deliberately don't shoot it. So it's mostly there just as a tech support option. But for that reason, it feels as though actually investing in sniper rifle skills is perhaps not necessarily something that's going to benefit us much in the long term. Oh, but we did have... Oh, hold on. Oh, right, this question that we were asking ourselves of do you take the loadout size or the weapon weight capacity or clip size, spare ammo. Oh, and right. So this was, we wanted to upgrade this skill, but the reason why I held back on it was because I did not yet have an answer as to whether Trip Mine worked with Cloak. And turns out it does work well with Cloak. However, Annihilation, which was the other thing that I more so took for granted, did not. So that was what broke our would have been Annihilation Dancer build. So I mean, we did fully invest in Trip Mine, and it may still be a strong skill, but since that setup is not really going to work out the way that I had planned, perhaps that extra combat power cell is not really going to be of that much use to us. Then again, I do still feel like the clip size, and mostly the clip size, especially if we have a whole bunch of laser beams, which is probably going to change somewhat soon, or at least sometime, because as I was saying, it feels like we've kind of gotten a little too ambitious with our setup there. But yet these, I think, are the ones that we really want to get to. So let's do... I guess we'll do this. And maybe there are abilities later on that do also require power, so like Trip Mine, we might use it, because I like it in Mass Effect 3 multiplayer, or at least the thing, it's basically the same skill in Mass Effect 3 multiplayer, at least very similar to it, it seems. And, yeah, we don't have enough for these yet, but this, one of these two could be very effective, be very interesting. And probably more impactful than just taking tech skills purely for the sake of increasing our passives on the tech side. So now we can upgrade Jaal'S rank 6 abilities, which, with 75 points and how many levels are there? Or how many skills are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we should have enough to fully level everything. Oh, wait. Oh, I was looking at the 75. I was like, oh yeah, we've way more than enough. But no, 34. We do have enough, but it is much closer. Much closer than I originally thought. Okay, so energy drain. Extra damage and extra damage to shields. Or increased shield restoration also restores shields of nearby allies. The initial impact radius is 8. I assume that's meters. Shields restored 20%. Allied shields restored 33%. Oh, so it's better for allies than it is even for himself. So, again, the tricky thing here is mostly just how much do we trust our squad mates to be smart with the way that they're using powers and deliberately targeting enemies that have shields with this? I mean, hopefully, otherwise, I mean, 30% damage is still 30% damage universally, which is nice. This, because we are so regularly cloaking and running up to get into flamer range, it's unlikely that we'll be regularly next to Jaal throughout the entirety of the combat, except that 8 meters is pretty huge. So that might still be big enough that we have a shot. It still feels like this is going to be way more inconsistent, though. I think you take the simple, straightforward option when it comes to most upgrades for squad mate skills. Then, sticky grenade. Okay. Damage against armor or shields. So we have really good armor damage with Flamer. So you could make the case that assuming that we are, generally speaking, using Flamer for the foreseeable future, we are not as much in need of having squad mates deal damage to armor, and therefore we would prefer to have squad mates deal better damage to shields, which, yes, we have energy drain, but that's not really on the same level of pure damage dealing as Flamer is for armor. On the other hand, just about every boss enemy is going to have armor and a lot of it, whereas shields tend to be much smaller. So even if we're less efficient at dealing damage to them, we can usually still break through them relatively quickly. So maybe you do still take armor here. Again, more, maybe not necessarily more universally applicable in that case, but at least more universally helpful against the enemies for which extra damage matters most. Okay, then Adventure Strike has gotten him in a lot of trouble in the past. Striking successfully increases Jaal'S damage for a short time. Is there a reason why it says power damage on 3 separate lines with 10%? Does that mean it's 30% increased power damage for 5 seconds? Does that mean that it's only 10% and for some reason they wrote this number 3 times? Does that mean that that's supposed to say power damage, weapon damage, and melee damage, but they had a typo and only wrote power damage for all 3 of them? I don't really know how to make sense of that. Okay, otherwise, increased damage to enemy shields and synthetic enemies, stuns targets, leaves them primed for combo detonations. So, normally, as I was saying just moments ago, I would think that you want to typically go with the simple, straightforward options for squad mates because they are not going to be using their abilities all that often since they have such a long cooldown time, and also you can't be sure that they're going to be smart with who they're targeting with their abilities. However, the biggest issue that we've had with Jaal is that whenever we have a big enemy, he Avenger strikes it, stands right next to them, and gets killed very quickly. And we revive him, and then he does it again. And that not only means that Jaal is almost contributing nothing, it also means that we're almost contributing nothing because we are just stuck constantly reviving him. So to be able to stun enemies for 5 seconds feels like that is maybe not single-handedly enough to make him... it's going to make him at least a little bit safer when he's doing it. How much safer is a different question, and it perhaps is only going to work on standard enemies, not bosses. So if it does work on bosses, that's absolutely amazing, but I kind of doubt it. And the extra damage to shields and synthetics, great when it does apply, but that's more you know, nice little bonus and not really something we can rely on. Now his passive for damage, power damage, 20%. Wait, what? More damage for a short time after taking down an enemy, or more rifle damage after using a power. Okay, I mean, in general, we're preferring weapon damage, again, because squad mates have such long cooldowns for their abilities. But also, what's he going to do more often? Get kills or use powers? I mean, he has long cooldowns, but at least he has 3 abilities. And this does synergize a bit with the Venture Strike again, where he Venture Strikes, he stuns an enemy for 5 seconds, he has extra damage, at least with his weapon, for 5 seconds. So he has a little more survivability from a defensive standpoint with the stuns, and from a best defense is a good offense standpoint with this upgrade. And on the more defensive side here, when badly wounded, Jaal automatically cloaks to protect himself. Health threshold 20%, recharge speed 10 seconds. Versus when Jaal is hit by an enemy within 5 meters, he automatically retaliates with an electric burst that causes bonus damage to shields and primes the target. And we don't really need the priming. Recharge speed 15 seconds, retaliation damage 236. Bonus versus shields and synthetics. I mean, you could sort of make a case that this is also a way to help him after Venture Striking, which is, again, when he's most vulnerable. The reason why I'm not thrilled about this is because, as I've said before with some of Ryder's upgrades, when you're at 20% health, you may just be dead. You may already be dead. Or you may functionally be dead because you're so vulnerable. Granted, Cloak would help in that case. Or because you don't have a health gate threshold at 20% HP, basically the enemy, rather than, you would have to get hit by an enemy and survive with 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, so on and so forth, percentage HP remaining, but notably not get killed. Whereas, especially when we're on a higher difficulty, the chances of Jaal surviving with only a small sliver of HP left is relatively low. So I think you basically just have to take this for that reason. And there you have it. Everything is fully upgraded, 4 points to spare, so technically speaking, additional levels no longer really matter for squad mates. I don't think there's anything else that they automatically get better at every time they level. It's not as if they're getting like a 1% weapon power and damage and 1% health upgrade with every level. But there you have it. Jaal is now fully set up. Fully set up. Okay, and I mean, I guess there's a shopkeeper here that, while we're standing right next to you, will maybe just pick up some additional shields or something. Oh, yeah, we'll just stare in the other direction. Oh, we will definitely take that. No shields? We did spend a few in that encounter, I think. Also, we should probably sell salvage. Oh no, but not that. Okay. Alright. So I think we're pretty much done here. There's possibly one more mission here, although it may very well be the one that it was saying we need to wait to do anyway. Yeah, this is the place. Is this the... Oh, we had a fast travel spot. Oh, here. We've not been up here for an eternity. I feel like we might as well just briefly poke our head in to see what's up. What's up? Good Ishimura. How are you? We had just finished Jaal'S loyalty mission. And so we just spent a bunch of points to fully level him up. What does this gravity well do? I don't remember that. Did As I said, it's just been an eternity since we were last here.
Actions bind by examining the rope at each stage of the knot's construction.
So Bishal learned how to construct an engine from examples?
Back again?
I guess. Sorry for interrupting.
About time.
Okay, well, maybe the reason why we haven't come up here is because there hasn't been anything for us to do up here. I was kind of just hoping that, even though it didn't really have any icons here, there was going to be some conversation that we had not previously had.
I don't know how it could happen so quickly, but thank you, whoever you are.
Oh, you're welcome. You know, some conversation that was actually going to lead to a significant update of some variety that we just didn't previously know about, but okay. That does not seem to be the case. That does seem to be the case.
Did you find anything about my sister?
Pala was right. They documented everything.
Your sister was moved across Havarl. This data drive should have the specifics.
Thank you. With all this information, I could see Amara again. But the thought of leaving frightens me. This is my home. If I leave, I abandon my duties. What if I never get to come home again?
Okay, so this was the one that we did technically know about, but it said, wait for an update. And I was, I guess, just expecting for us to get an update, like an email or some notification from Sam saying, you know, something has changed and you can now do this. But turns out, apparently we just had to actually come up here for the first time in a very long time and overhear a conversation. Which I wish the game had kind of just said, like, oh no, just tell us to turn it in here in that case, because otherwise we would probably not have made a conscious effort of coming here, other than just by sheer coincidence. Let's see, so I leave home, you abandon your duties, but you want to see your sister. Fear shouldn't stop you, cannot decide for you. I guess fear shouldn't stop you?
Everyone gets scared. It passes. Amara's your sister.
And home is often a person, and not a place. I will swallow my fear. Thank you for this. For helping an old man.
Right, I'll be honest. Don't look like an old man to me. Then again, not really sure we can easily distinguish for Angara. Not really sure if we know one way or another how to distinguish, but alas. Okay, so that might have been the very last quest on all of Havarl. So, I mean, I don't even know if we're technically going to be coming back here on a future occasion for that reason, I suppose. I mean, it's early enough in the game still that I would have to assume something will pop up here at some point in time. We read this? After the Scourge destroyed our civilization, chaos and fear ruled, and we lost sight of our true selves. Jeffro took us away from that influence, so that we could remember the past with clarity. Clear hearts know who we were once, and clear eyes see who we are now. Okay. So yeah, I mean, at least at the moment, we don't really know of much anything else for us to do here on Havarl, but I'm gonna assume that there will be something on a future occasion. Also, how do we actually get to Tempest since we don't have the Nomad? Can we go to the Tempest from here? Yes. If we go to the other side.
Leaving Havarl.
Hey, Nor, how are you?
Pathfinder.
We have done a whole bunch of loyalty missions today. We just finished Jaal'S, but before that we did Vetra's, and before that we did Korra's. In doing Korra's, we also helped save-ish? Save to the extent that we could. Sorry.
New email at your terminal, Pathfinder.
Okay, PB wants to talk with us. We have a new email. I imagine we should probably speak with Jaal'S since we did just do his loyalty mission. Let's see. Meet my true mother. from Jaal. I've been telling my family about you, there we go, and my time on the Tempest. I'd love for you to meet them and see where I grew up. My true mother, Sahuna, is especially interested in meeting you. Next time we're on Havarl, let's stop by. There you go. We do, in fact, now have at least one reason to go back to Havarl in the future. Maybe we'll keep it that way and, see if a few more things add up. Let's see. This is from Sid, so Vetra's sister. Hi, Ryder. It's Sid. Want to say thank you for coming to help me. I guess you didn't know it was me at the start, huh? I immediately called out that it was absolutely 100% you, and the fact that it was not immediately obvious to everyone else in the situation was somewhat alarming to me, but that's why it's great. I didn't tell you anything. My bad. Sorry. But you went ahead and helped anyway, even though you knew it was probably going to be dangerous. You put yourself out there for other people, and that's why you're a Pathfinder. No, our Pathfinder. And thanks for having Vetra's back. I know you're there for her, which means she can be there for me, and that means a lot. Don't tell her I said this. You're awesome, Sid. Aw, thanks, Sid. Okay, then, thank you, Pathfinder from Amerd, which is totally a name that I recognize. I write to you now from... Is that the person that we were just speaking to moments ago on Havarl? I write to you now from Amara's home on the other side of Havarl. Sounds like it. I'm surrounded by her children and grandchildren, whom I have never met, but who welcomed me as though they'd known me all their lives. I left my home, only to find another one. Though I wish I had done this years ago, I'm grateful for the time I have left. This would not have happened without your help. It is beautiful here. Oh, that's so wholesome. Then Aksul, okay, this is, of course, the person who we confronted for Jaal'S mission. Human. To hate blindly is as dangerous as to trust blindly. An old Angaran proverb, one of many I have forgotten somewhere along the way. This is not an apology. I don't know if I will ever be able to look upon an alien and not feel hatred. But what I did to Jaal was wrong, so I must try. Aksul. Okay. Some character growth from Aksul, perhaps? Something that at times has felt like does not exist in the game of Andromeda, but hey. Hey, maybe Aksul will be the one to break the trend. Okay, runs in the family. Go to Havarl with Jaal. So yeah, future occasion, I think, but... I'd rather we have at least some reason to come back to Havarl in the future rather than just check absolutely everything off the list and possibly never return for the rest of our entire playthrough. It's a lot of cryopod stuff. And still need some more time with these guys. Okay, it was... we probably should speak to Jaal. But he's not here. It was PB. Who was the other one who said that she wanted to chat? Is she... Oh, we still have 3 points? You're gonna bug me about this? Okay, fair enough. Now is not the time. Is she up here in her escape pod room? Yes.
Oh, come on, think. I need something.
Who are you talking to?
Ryder, shit. You shouldn't sneak up on someone like that.
I mean, you said he wanted to talk to us. Sam said he wanted to talk to us, at least.
Talking to myself? Don't tell me you never do that.
You seem stressed.
No kidding. I'm not built for this kind of homesteading. Don't like people knowing where I am, where my stuff is. Ugh!
Okay. Maybe it's a minor... I mean, I don't understand why that would be such a huge concern. That just seems kind of ludicrous for you to be that upset about it.
What's your usual solution?
Usually, I cut bait. Scram, strike out on my own. When I felt like this back home, I'd look for a zero-G chamber, or at least an isolation tank. Someplace to just drift away. I could really use that now.
If I may, gravity can be overridden in the escape pod. You can create a zero-G chamber.
Of course! Sam, you're a genius.
We're about to turn this into a
It's
moonwalk escape
It'll
pod.
make a huge difference, Ryder. You'll see. You know, there's room for two.
Okay. Do I want to go into a zero-G escape pod? Absolutely. Do I want to go into a zero-G escape pod with PB who feels like she's trying to make some schmoves on us right now, and we are in a relationship, or at least trying to be in a relationship with Vetra? So I guess we go in, and if she tries to make advances on us, we shut her down. Although things may head in that direction regardless. Though none of these things have the heart on them, so should be fine.
That's all I
hopefully.
need to hear.
And this should do it. Close your eyes. Relax. Let yourself go. Oh, this hits the spot. Ryder?
Yeah?
There's something else that would relax me.
Yeah, this is what I'm getting at.
What's that?
You haven't taken the bait yet, but I'm not afraid of rejection.
Well,
Wanna
congratulations, you
fool
are
around?
about to get rejected.
Doesn't matter if you have something else going on. I can be utterly discreet. Just fun. Two people blowing off steam. No strings attached. Only if there's no strings.
No thank you.
I don't
Saw
think
it
so,
coming.
baby.
And the
That's
answer's
fine.
no.
Say no more.
I hope this is enough.
Hey, don't you know what say no more means? Really, I mean it. No explanation necessary. Just thank you for this.
Yeah, so kind of anticipated that was going to turn to a really awkward conversation, and surprise, surprise, it did. But we were prepared. We were ready, and for what it's worth, at least PB seemed to take it pretty well. Now, are we going to turn around, and moments later, she's going to be absolutely bawling her eyes out? Possibly. But at least, at the moment, she seemed to take that pretty well. Okay, so she wanted to talk with us. Jaal'S the other person we wanted to chat with, because we just did his loyalty mission. So will he have anything to say to reflect upon that?
Hey.
Hello, Ryder.
How's the face wound?
Also, he got shot in the face.
I think my scar will be impressive.
I would like to believe that will be the case as well. Nice. That is, not gonna lie, a thought that did occur to me when he got shot was clear that it was not a very serious injury, and you even saw the scar and it slowly, or at least the mark where the bullet hit him and slowly faded.
Now you're gonna look even more badass.
And more appealing.
No doubt. Look at all the dates Drac gets.
That's Drac getting a lot of dates. Do I want to know?
Talk some more?
Or we could go Shepherd style.
I'll see you later, Jaal.
Stay strong and clear.
Okay, so in that case, is there anyone else we want to chat? Whoa. I swear, that hijack always sounds like he's next to us, and then he isn't. I feel deceived. Now, I still don't know where he is. But alas, I'm not really sure there's anyone else that we need to talk to in that case. And from a mission standpoint, the things that we were targeting before, we have very quickly started to check off our list. We've now done every loyalty mission that we currently can do, and sought out all of the arcs now, right? Solarian from the main quest mission, yes. Turian arc, we went out to do that, sure. And then most recently Asari for the loyalty mission for Korra. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So I guess that would mean... Still don't know really what this is. Rayless and Angaran resistance fighter wishes to speak to you on Vold. And the fact that this... They're a resistance fighter, which presumably means they're Angaran. Yeah, Angaran... Okay, Angaran resistance. The thing that threw me off, obviously it says plainly right there. True. But, why does it show a picture of the cat? Which, every time I glance over this, my first thought is that... Does that mean that we're actually gonna have a cat ally? Memory triggers. This whole thing with Addison, whose name I finally remember, like, 4 hours later now. Is this worth just quickly zooming through and checking all these things and seeing if anything comes of it? Because this feels really minor at the moment, but maybe it escalates into something bigger. Otherwise, we could see, I imagine, that this stuff here with Drac and with PB will both eventually turn into loyalty missions, even if they don't technically have that label on them just yet. And we have some post-loyalty mission stuff for Jaal and for Korra, but I think those are probably not as time-sensitive. Sure, still want to do them, but, you know, we're also, of course, delaying a main quest mission we have for fairly long time at this point. So, you know, by doing all the arcs and potentially most, if not all, of the loyalty missions as well, then I think that checks off most of the big stuff from the list, and maybe we can start more aggressively pursuing main quest stuff and borderline mainlining the main quest from here on out. It's been a while since we chatted with Suvi and Callum. Maybe we do that real quick.
Anything I can help with?
And maybe you don't have anything new to say.
Sounds good.
What about you?
What can I do for you?
Just generic
I'll let you
stuff.
Concentrate.
You know where I'll be.
Okay. So, yeah, I don't really know what to... Have we done any of the scans for Addison's thing? It just feels like another one of those really minor, go here, scan/read this thing, do that in a bunch of different places, and then you're done type of situations. But the fact that it has Addison's name on it makes it seem like it's gonna be more important than just that. Even if at the moment it feels very minor. So maybe we quickly zoom through and at least get a better sense. If that is going to be the case, or if not, then maybe we just zoom through and finish it. Okay, so which one was it? It's the one where Vold is, where we're supposed to go next. So yeah, I think because we need to jump to different planets in specific orders, I think we just go out and go doing this specific quest right now rather than actually going to Vold here. So otherwise we're gonna lose track of all that and focus on other things, and will we ever get around to doing it in the precise order? I mean, eventually, yes, but I think it's just gonna be way quicker, way more efficient if we do it this way. Because I don't know what order it's gonna send us in, and it very well may not be in order that we would usually go.
Let's try to get close enough to pull some data.
Oh, this one, the previous one blew up, right? Didn't the previous one blow up immediately upon us getting there? And it was very alarming at the time? I'm pretty sure that's what happened, if I remember correctly. Right as we were about to go to Eos. So is that going to happen here?
Probe away. Tracker ahead. Looks active.
Ease up on it. We need a point of origin.
Okay. Explosion. Explosion. Yes.
One twitchy self-destruct.
Wait, just let me stick a predictive model in this fragment. There, a common vector, maybe a point of origin.
Good job. Let's go.
Canada satellite tracks initiative shipments and allocates emergency drops without authorization. No tracker or no satellites were authorized. Oh, are we the ones destroying it? Because it's not supposed to be here, and they're collecting bad info on us. And so, is it in our best interest to seek and destroy? So maybe it's... So I think my first impression was, it happened the first time, and I was not immediately thinking about that specific quest. And so I just randomly clicked on this little satellite thing, and it instantaneously blew up. I was like, what the heck is happening? And so the context was lost on me a little bit there. Wait, what? This is not even in one of the systems with a main quest planet in it, and I thought that that was the whole thing, was that the satellites were next to the outposts, and that's why we didn't want them to be there, because that's what they were collecting data on. So we definitely would not have gone out here, I don't think, in that case, without making a concerted effort to target this quest in particular. Looks like it's gonna be this up near the top.
Anomaly on sensors.
Nailed it.
Probe away. Anomaly found.
So yeah, perhaps not a coincidence. Oh, there's also this.
Probe away.
Which apparently we did not see before, even though...
Getting a scan.
Wait, what? That's... What? Starship wreckage, and this is the shuttle. But what is this? 'Cause it already said we were at 100%. Did we see this before, and for some reason we had to scan again for it to pop up? Is this for a different quest? Starship wreckage. Nightingale. Destroyed 10 survivors. An emergency medical ship staffed with medical technicians, the Nightingale was dispatched to a far-flung mining station, but was lost along the way. Survivors who reached escape pods believe it was a Ket attack, but there's no corroborating evidence to be found in the wreckage. Yeah, we get some... I think those are salvage materials we've established. So that was, I think, technically for a different quest, and one that takes us all around the place, which is why it did not really have a specific marker there. This is the one where I don't think it's coincidence that the satellites are blown up, because we are shooting them down, is now what I'm realizing, I think. So this will blow up, question mark?
Pathfinder.
Or...
This is the exact nav point indicated by the ZK trackers.
Right, Addison's request. Let's see if this helps us find our missing scientist.
That was the
Damn it.
underlying...
The shuttle's just a relay. But I think we can get in their feeds. Hold on.
Signal's through. Ready for coordinate transferring. Who the fuck?
Hey.
We've been found. Deadhead the comms.
You have stolen property, but also I'm a pathfinder. I'm not really... What? I'm not sure why that would change their willingness to speak to us, or lack thereof. But I guess we'll give it a shot.
Here we go again. I'm the Pathfinder.
A Pathfinder? One finally showed?
Harlan, stop talking.
Is that Dr. Kennedy? Are you okay? Director Addison is concerned about you and your tech.
Keep them talking, Ryder. Tracing.
All I want is to stop the stealing. I have outposts of people trying to start their lives.
Outposts starting lives, huh?
Let them see, Harlan.
They just forwarded Dr. Kennedy's medical profile. Ryder.
She's pregnant. That woman is pregnant.
That woman knows full well the state she's in.
Look. I don't think we need to have the birds and the bees talk right now, okay? So... on the other hand, for that... I am kind of curious, though, to see the angle, the direction that this goes in. The first in Andromeda. Is that even true? Is that even true, though? Like, I get why this is all significant. I mean, how long have they been in Andromeda for? It's like, if we've been in here nowhere near 9 months, then, like, okay, yes, sure. Maybe you're the first, but... it just doesn't... it feels like it's more significant if it's you're about to have this child imminently. It's like, you are the first you will be the first in Andromeda would be a more accurate statement, I suppose. I guess we go this route.
Chemical blockers were standard for cryo. We were supposed to wait until we were stable.
And when was that going to be? Everything was going wrong. The Nexus had no plan. You're with Addison? Well, she fell in line with Tan, said we couldn't add new mouths until we were stable.
I mean, it's
this
true.
Wasn't about waiting until we could afford a house. We were dying. So
Yeah.
I left, with enough meds for Harlan and I to get off the blockers.
How far along? Dr. Kennedy, how long?
8 months, give or take.
Well.
We're not going back. You're not getting my tech. We'll be fine without you. Tell Addison. Fuck it, don't tell her anything. Kill it.
Oh!
They flashed the core. Couldn't get a trace.
Okay, they weren't in that thing, though.
Addison will want to hear about this. And I've got questions.
They're just
for
using
her.
that to relay information to us. But dramatic. Flair for the dramatic. But also, no, they're just like so many people are just so freaking stupid. We don't have enough resources to support a stable, support a population. Everybody panic. Let's break off and do our own thing, because if we can't support a population with the entire initiative, surely that means that a subset of people with less capability and less resources would be more able to support this. No, it would be worse. Addison won't let us have a child because we don't have enough resources to sustain our current population, let alone adding more to that population. So I'm going to break off. Also, I'm going to have a baby to make it even less likely that we can sustain that population in this small subset of people that are even less capable of sustaining themselves. How freaking stupid do you have to be to do that? Whoa, stuff happens, life happens, Lit. Situational awareness. There's zero. Absolutely zero. Like, all reason, all logic out the window. Okay. It's just non-stop. Every person. I'm upset, so I'm gonna break off and do my own thing without the resources to do the things better that I was concerned about. Also, I'm gonna take other things that are only gonna make matters significantly worse. But I'm still gonna be mad at other people. Even though I'm just further exacerbating the issue. Okay, hypocrite. Alright, let's save, because it's been a really long time since we last did save. But the follow-up here is contact Addison. Oh, on the Tempest VidCom. Okay, so we can just do that right here. Don't have to go back to the actual Nexus itself, fortunately.
Prepping VidCon communications.
Alright.
Director Addison, I have a sighting on your missing Dr. Kennedy and her trackers.
She's alive?
And 8 months pregnant.
Fucking hell.
Said she disappeared? That's why she left? To start? Alright. Sure, let's play this one out. That's why she left. Because the Andromeda Initiative wasn't going to be able to sustain having a baby, so surely 2 individual people breaking off by themselves on their own with no one else supporting them, they'd be able to support a baby, because that makes complete sense and is not completely counterintuitive.
She wasn't abducted by exiles. She left because the Nexus had no plan. She said you didn't want
So
people
having a
to
plan
try
with 2
getting
people.
pregnant.
Of course I didn't. We had no worlds. We knew we would lose people. I wasn't going to watch babies die, too. Of all the stupid, irresponsible, selfish... She was always like this, even back on Earth. She talked me into this, and now we have to save her tail.
This is so ridiculous. This is so ridiculous. Oh, so stupid. Okay. Oh my god. This is absurd. Okay. Now I have to save her tail. From what? Sure, from what? Humor me.
Dr. Kennedy seems to have a group with her. Stealing aside.
Oh, she has a group.
She has
okay.
support.
How long will that last? She's the smartest person I know, but she jumps without looking. Ryder, we have 2 speeches banked for the first child in Andromeda. Trust me, you want the one for the good outcome.
Okay. Yeah, that's... Everyone wants to branch off and do their own thing, because they don't agree with the plan. Well, so you have a plan? You have a plan that's going to be better than the existing plan? Sure, you might think that, but what are you going to do with your small group of people that you can do that was not possible with the resources that the full-blown Andromeda Initiative has? Because, sure, branch off. Do your own thing within another galaxy with inhospitable worlds. And that's the reason why the Andromeda Initiative was going slow, because it was not as simple and straightforward as just casually drop an anchor somewhere and saying, all right, let's make do. And yet, for some reason, oh, no, sure, don't worry about it. Yeah, no, the outcasts, yeah, they managed to do the collective. Yeah, no, they managed to. Just ignore the fact that the whole premise of this game is that you have to go to these places and make them more viable so that it's even possible to do that in the first place. No, the other people rules don't apply for them. No, they're actually superhumans. They don't need the planet viability to be increased. They don't need water. No, water, oxygen, food, shelter, temperature. No, they don't care about any of that radiation exposure. None of that stuff matter. Atmosphere. You know, they're immune to any and every possible problem. And that's why they could break off from the Andromeda Initiative and not have to worry about the lack of a plan. They don't need a plan. They're superhumans. They're all Superman. They can do it themselves. Yeah, you know, their group of 5 to 10 people can sustain themselves. Totally.
Wait, what did Dr. Kennedy talk you into?
She's an old university friend. We were catching up and she mentioned a project she was training for.
The Andromeda Initiative?
She'd still be here if I wasn't forced to tell her no a year ago.
What?
What was the timetable for stopping the contraceptives everyone got before cryo?
Before Prodromos? It was to be determined.
You had to know that would frustrate people.
It was the only answer we could give. The alternative was more mouths and more death.
Like, sorry for being the realist here. That's a totally reasonable thing to say. In another galaxy where you have very finite resources and very restricted capabilities, everything early on must be very calculated. So for everyone to just say, forget the plan. We don't need a plan. Forget all the resources and skills that other people from the initiative bring. No, we can handle everything ourselves. No, we can do that. Just completely undermines the entire message of the game, which sometimes, all right, you just hand wave it, say, okay, you know, sure, they gloss over some of those details, but it's constant. I'm just like, come on.
We know how to find her. We find more of her ZK trackers.
Hopefully you can draw them out by placing more outposts. If she hasn't changed the protocol.
She's 8 months. She may be distracted.
This is a complete shit show. Find them, Pathfinder. The first human child in Andromeda can't just disappear.
Oh, goodness. Oh, goodness. Alrighty then. I don't even know what to say anymore. Oh, also my question stands that how long were people out of crowd? Like, we were relatively late arrivals because the people who came on the Nexus got here before us. But how much longer have they been here than us? Because if you're 8 months pregnant, then it's not like, this is a recent thing. This happened, you've been pregnant for a while. So, I mean, if we've been, my point is, have we been here for 8 months? And only 8 months, you're just like, oh, no, day 1, forget the protocol. I'm doing it my own way. And that's the first thing you do? It's like, alright, that's absurd. Like, okay, if you've been here for 3 years, I don't think they've been here for that long, the people who came here before us, but then at least it's a little more understandable. Like, alright, at least you waited a little bit before you went to that extreme. But, my goodness. Oh, wow. Okay, I mean, I guess we're technically at this stage just seeking out more of those things. More of the satellites that we explode in 2 different systems. Alright. Alright, sure. Sure. Where does it go from here? Did we get those before? We just get those twice? I don't know. Okay, and perhaps this quest is going to take us to several of those systems that were just empty and didn't have anything of any significance in them before. At least for quests. There's that one quest, what was it? The one that I really hated, Contagion, that just was a really egregious fetch quest that had us pop from one place to the next and was even less than this. The things we would do was just scan something.
Just detected a ZK tracker.
Scan's ready. We need Dr. Kennedy's location.
That one was scan something just to get the location of the next thing that you can scan. To get to the location of the next thing that you can scan. To get the location of the next thing that you can scan. And did that like 5 or 6 times. Until we eventually got to a place for a very unsatisfying resolution to a terrible quest. So that one did have us technically kind of sort of do a quest in several of these otherwise insignificant systems, but maybe this one is gonna...
Deploying probe. Something's different, Pathfinder. An Angara signal in the tracker.
Try and get me the last message through.
So maybe this one is gonna send us to whichever one's systems we did not go to for that other quest. This one has Angaran stuff going on. Is it gonna blow? Are we gonna blow it up? Is it gonna blow up? It's probably still gonna blow up one way or the other.
Attached. We find the source. This tech will give us initiative access. The breeder is also a symbolic target. No mercy.
What?
Rokar targeting Dr. Kennedy.
Okay.
Suvi, do we have her?
Negative. We need another tracker.
Damn it.
Okay. Satellite tracks initiative shipments. Alright, same description here. Alright, so that one tells us the Rokar are after her. And presumably that means this next one is gonna tell us where she is. Where is it, though? Here. Let's just casually go through the star while we're at it as well. What could possibly go wrong?
Pathfinder, I've detected the last CK tracker we need.
Right. We need to find Dr. Kennedy before the Rokar.
Oh.
Anomaly detected.
I did not even realize I was right on top of it immediately.
Probe away.
Erratic. It's drifting. And I'm getting Ket drive wash.
What?
Now the Ket are involved? Damn it, get close.
Alright, what's going on with this one?
Cal was right. Signs of Ket. But I'm getting data. The 4 trackers give us a point of origin on Vold.
That planet has no shortage of leftover Ket.
We don't want a baby near Exaltation or Rokar. We have to find them on Vold.
Okay. So as we kind of suspected, at some point it was gonna escalate and actually put us on the ground in a more significant planet. And Vold it is. I'm trying to think of what the current state of things on Vold is. Obviously we now have this, which I guess. I mean, this feels like it's a little more significant than, you know, your very minor side quests that we happen to come across directly on a planet that more or less just gives us a little bit of viability for that planet. Obviously experience, but not much beyond that. Because it does have some relation to Addison, and as much as we may despise her, she is technically an important person. So you would think that this would be a meaningful mission for us to complete. So I suppose that means we probably should place this relatively high on our priority list as well. Do we have anything else on Vold? Place an outpost. Tracked a ZK tracker satellite. So this would, you'd only be able to finish this once you have an outpost at every possible planet, which we have done. So I'm not sure why that's really there yet. That almost makes me think that we're gonna get moved or have to hop around one more time, but I don't know. Let's see. Hold. I'm just looking at the sheer quantity of things here. Okay, and it's not a huge list, but there are things here. Missing scientists. The poachers with Jaal. We've had that for a little while now. Angaran place, like ruins. Yeah. Also might be it. I don't remember if we must take Jaal. We need to take Jaal for this one. Random battle sites, which we also got a while ago, but have not tried doing. This seemed like it was more kind of the optional, extra challenge type thing, so I don't really know how important that is. Oh. This is the kind of thing that that we've seen a lot of. It's a pretty generic type of quest, just from exploring and happening across random Ket outposts, but generally, I was not under the impression that this had an actual quest log for it, so I'm actually encouraged that it does. So that might make it a little bit easier to track those things down. Alright, we actually... Okay. We have a somewhat reasonable number of things to do on Vold, so we might make this into a more somewhat extended, dedicated Vold trip beyond just this one mission for Addison.